Why, hello there, and welcome back, or I guess welcome to, our final session for this crew for Blades in the Dark. Allow me to join them in chat. Hello there.
Good day.
Since our last micro heist, what have the two of you, Desmond and Kim, been up to?
Desmond has just been doing things in the background.
I think my schedule is a little insane right now. I'm probably going to school, teaching school.
You are teaching. I forgot. Well, actually, we're setting that up still, but you're getting. Well, what exactly would you be teaching?
I mean, I would have started with basic reading, so probably that. I mean, the kids can't learn much if they don't know how to read, right?
If we're going for pure academics, that'd be very smart. Well, while the two of you are working through all of this, we hear through the pipeline few things. Of course, we have our group, and we get all that pulled up, all our wonderful information. I don't believe they had any names in particular, but from both of our gangs, the Rovers and the Rooks, how cute, they were, of course, sent out to do as they do. Desmond, you have them doing work for you. Kim, of course, when they're available, they can help us rebuild, spread the good word. We're actually here to help, we promise, despite some of the way some of us look. We're good people. Ignore the rumors about knives and such.
Wow.
But from both them and our friend Amasio, we hear a little something down the pipeline. There is a certain piece of priceless art that is going to be auctioned up relatively soon. It's going to be moving through a household, one of a Mistress Chloe Colburn. Her and her people will take a look at it, and various other things being auctioned up, and then it will be moved somewhere else. But as of current, we found a way to get a hold of this very, very private information.
Priceless art, you say?
Upon hearing this information, what do the two of you do?
Do we know, the name of the piece of art? Does it have a name? Does it ring a bell?
I'll actually flip that back over to you guys. What is something in particular? Because we started off as wanting to be art thieves. We've definitely taken some art, but it wasn't our focus. What is something that would really, really, really pique Desmond's interest? I know, Kim, you're looking for your art, like your paintings. What's something Desmond would really look at and go, ooh, that's worth something? Doesn't have to be a painting.
I would probably say something that is not just a piece of art, but also has a functional use. So think like those Leviathan eye kind of things.
Okay, I like that.
Except this one is, very big. Maybe it isn't used for Leviathan specifically, but it guards against ghosts in general.
Ooh, I like that idea.
Yeah, we can say it has the ability to ward off, the bad jujus and all that extra nonsense. Definitely. And of course,
it's priced.
It's gorgeous and unique.
Make it like a giant demonic pearl or something.
Yeah. Or a giant demonic clam.
Weighs 50 pounds, hard to carry.
Well, maybe not 50 pounds. Can y'all carry that out easily? That's a lot of weight.
Sure. Desmond can at this point.
Desmond can. I don't think I can.
You have a backpack ready?
I can get one.
You have your mule. You have the extended straps. Desmond is ready.
I won't be subtle about it. So I'm carrying literally a massive pearl, but yeah.
This is true. Yeah, we can say it definitely has some heft to it. We're not entirely sure what it looks like, but we know 100% because we pay these people well, and they will be paid well in return once we do whatever we do with this thing, whether we choose to keep it or whether we choose to flippantly sell it, which is incredibly risky, but that's what we do, risky. We know for a fact it is indeed located there. It will 100% be at this location. And allow me to bring us to said location. It is in Brightstone, and her estate resides on Quicksilver Avenue and Noble's Rise, one of her many estates. And we do know this area is nice and bougie, wonderfully posh. We've been here before to one of our friends' parties. Not entirely alien to us, but upon receiving the information of this Leviathan Pearl, how the two of you want to plan this out?
Well, we need info first.
Okay. We can start with the gather information roll. That sounds good to me.
Is it being displayed or something? Or?
Yes, it's being moved through a curation process. It and other pieces. It's effectively moving through here to validify it. That and, as I mentioned, all the other pieces that are going to be there. We don't know too much about them, but we heard about this one. It's kind of like the crown jewel of this specific auction showing. So if y'all yoink this, it's gonna, whoever steals this is gonna be, high marks amongst those that like you. which is great. But it's 100% going to be there. It'll be obviously locked up because, money. But we know exactly where it is. We know the building. We know how long it'll be there. It should only be in the estate for at most 3 days, or probably only 2 days. So I believe with gather information, we can just roll one of your guys' stats. Yeah, we can use an action roll. So Desmond, I think you get a +1, or do you get a +1 after you gather information?
I get a +1 after and at the roll for gather information, I believe.
All right.
Like, I'm sure Amancio can help us at least with something and stuff like that.
Definitely.
And I'm sure my booze heard something as well.
We do know for a fact this is a very large auction that's coming up. It's about a week or so away. This is like their final passing to ensure that everything is up to standard. You want to go ahead and roll that, Desmond?
Normal +1.
Yep. Excellent. Okay. So that means we get good details with clarifying follow-up questions. So wherever you all choose to go, whoever you choose to talk to, you're going to get solid answers. Wait, you can put notes in the roll? What?
Yeah.
Is that an update?
Apparently.
Oh shit, what the hell? Cool. Alrighty, so you guys can effectively ask as many questions as you want. You'll get good details, and you can ask follow-up questions. So Kim, do you have any questions regarding this general heist?
How tight is the security?
Wonderful question. Security is going to definitely be tight, 100%. There are going to be many guards on the outside, inside, everywhere.
Is infiltration possible, or are they familiar with each other?
Infiltration as in pretending to be a guard?
Yeah.
Possible but risky, but definitely possible. You are very good at disguises and such, so any of that's possible. And I do believe the quality of all of our items for subterfuge has been increased.
Does subterfuge count as sneaking in?
Disguising yourself and pretending to be someone else, yeah?
Yes, so you already have a fine disguise kit, so you're good there. But basically, for your tier, you have the finest disguise kit you can.
Oh, yeah, then I'll be fine.
So you guys are tier 2. It will function as a tier 3 effectively. And obviously the guards here are going to be higher tier, so that's good. You guys will need that if you're choosing to go that route. You do know that sneaking in via...
When is the best place to take it? Like, is there a guard change, or because certainly the worst time to take it would be when it's already in the auction house, right?
Not impossible, but really, really difficult. Now, from what the information you guys gathered, is the absolute 100% best time to do so, because it's just in this building. And yes, it's guarded, but once it moves to the auction house, it's going to be really difficult to get to.
I feel like it's more of a noteworthy challenge if we wait, though. Wait, don't get greedy, Kim.
Honestly, we could make it into like a Mission Impossible style thing where we literally wait for it to be auctioned and during the trade-off we steal it or something.
So
but at
dangerous.
the same time, that's very dangerous, yeah. Do we know anything about how it is guarded? Like specifically what kind of vault is being held in and stuff?
Indeed. So while it is going to be held in a vault, most of these are rumors, unfortunately, due to people not being able to fully get in. All of the items are sort of shifted through a room. So it's less of a vault and more of a very well-guarded, locked room. Of course, you need to move through the estate first to get to said room, so there's no exterior entrance or underground entrance. There's no way at all. This room is 100% just like locked off by itself. So you can get into rooms close to it, but there's definitely no way to go through the sewers, go through a window directly into this room, which is kind of duh. It's well-guarded.
No.
It is...
On the plus side, it probably doesn't have any like spiritual defenses because nothing can go in there.
Right, so that also helps. You know that for the most part, they should all just be just your standard guards. There are probably some spiritual defenses on the outside, some like spirit charms and such, some auto detection devices. We are in Brightstone after all, but we do have ways of getting around those.
Yeah.
And in terms of when to strike, you guys were known these days in particular, because while there will be a lot of guards, there will be fewest during this window for whatever reason, whether they're trading out guards, whether they're getting ready to move things, etc., etc.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say having to plot an actual art theft as our art thievery thing is actually harder than the normal missions we've done.
Remember, this is what flashbacks exist for. I won't always hit you with stress. Sometimes they're free. Sometimes they're just simple rolls.
I'm trying to think of something fun to do at this point.
Exactly. So we're more so trying to think of how do we want to get in. Obviously, we have disguises. Obviously, we can just like break in and sneak through. We are very good at that.
Is there a way for me to get Desmond in if I can infiltrate in a disguise? Because I think Desmond would probably be a little hard to disguise. At least walking through the front door anyway.
Is there, that we know of with our blueprints, a path or room below the vault or close by to the vault?
I'll say with your blueprints and what you've been told, specifically the detailings of this room, it's almost in the middle of the estate. So the estate itself is like 4 or so stories. There's floor 1, and on floor 2 is basically where it's located in the center. So there's a floor under it, and there's 2 above it.
We could potentially like dig a hole under it as well. We have to be really quick probably. This is in 3 days, right? Or is it like a while away and that we have 3 days?
You're made aware that, hey, it's here, but it's literally happening in a day or 2, they're moving it. And to be really clear, the 4 floors are all owned by the same person. This is all her estate. So there will be people on all 4 floors.
And which floor is it on again?
2.
What's the clearance for second floor?
So from the information you guys are able to gather, there's no distinction between guards on floors. They are just guards. So realistically, they all have the same clearance. They are guards meant to prevent people, unscrupulous folk, from coming in. So fortunately, you don't need to like gain extra levels of clearance. It's all the same for all of them.
That seems a little dumb.
Yeah, so there isn't like extra security on the second floor basically.
There's a little extra security, but they're not different guards. That makes any sense. So they're not like level 2 guards. Oh, sorry, they are level 2 guards, but not mechanically. Obviously, there are many buildings surrounding it, so there are windows to get in to other rooms, just not directly to this room.
Is it realistic for me to sneak in a day to, gain proper access and a proper uniform in a day?
With your materials, yes, definitely.
So I assume that when they're moving it, there's going to be an appraiser or something, right? To make sure that this is actually the pearl.
Correct. They're being moved here specifically for appraisal.
Are they attended by guards?
They'll be watched by guards, yes, definitely.
Do we know anything about how it's going to be transported?
All of the goods should be transported via cart, which, again, will be relatively guarded and on the move. In terms of them being their most open, it seems counterintuitive, but with how many people that are moving through the building, appraisers going in and out, now is probably the best time to strike.
All right, so I can definitely get in. Are you going to want to come in with me, Desmond?
Good question.
You have the materials to do so. Your disguise kit is equal to everyone's disguise kit, because you're the one doing it again.
Yeah, but he's paranoid. He doesn't trust it, regardless.
How big is this pearl?
Desmond said it's about 50 pounds, so I would say it is...
Oh, I thought that was a joke.
It doesn't have to be 50 pounds, but...
It could also be very dense but small, so it doesn't have to be huge.
True enough. Maybe it's about the size of I'd say the size of a basketball. So it could fit in a backpack. It's just heavy.
Are guards allowed to wear backpacks?
Probably not.
Desmond! I will dress you up fat, and then you can hide it in your belly pouch when we leave.
I already am rather fat, honestly.
I'll make you extra fat.
At that point, I'm going to have trouble getting through doors.
Well, you're wide. She'll make you the other way.
Yeah, the other way.
So different question in terms of weight. How many pips would it be?
Mainly because of how awkward it is to carry, I'd say 2.
Like, I can literally not wear my armor, and that's it.
You don't need torches and things of that variety unless you want it for like backup stuff. And, Ogre will be following you guys. He will be there, so he can carry extra shit like torches and things of that nature. So he can be the mule, effectively.
Nah.
The HM slave. The bidoof.
How is surveillance of the building? I mean, they must have guards like posted up top watching over, right?
They don't want it to be obvious, so there are, but very few. They're almost all contained to the inside. People are not supposed to know it's here.
It's literally a hotbox. How do we get all those people out?
The first room, is effectively open to anybody as long as you fit into Brightstone, of course. This is just her estate, but you have to, not pass by security necessarily, but you have to come here with a meeting or et cetera, et cetera. Like, this is her just estate. It's just being looked at on floor 2. So, all right, so what's the plan?
Are there any other valuables worth stealing while this mad rush is going on?
Yeah, obviously.
Anything small that can be quickly hidden?
Yep.
Don't steal too much, though.
I'm still leaning towards definitely dressing up as guards, first and foremost.
Just depends how you guys want to start it. You sneaking in, you breaking in.
I want to sneak.
Yes.
Okay, so the plan is to have the 3 of you sneak in as guards.
Yeah, I guess so.
Fair enough. Okay. Then we can do the engagement roll. All right, so we always start at 1. I think in general, we always end up at around 4 because of all the stuff we have, minus all the stuff that's against us. So I'd say after all the pluses and minuses, about a 4 should be fair. And I can actually write engagement roll. Gagment. Alrighty, that means we'll be starting in a risky position, which is the norm, the usual. So are we just walking through the front door?
Yep. Business as usual.
Assuming the guards walk through the front door, yes.
That is indeed where you're supposed to enter from. So yeah, you're more than welcome to do that. So the 3 of you walk up to Mistress Chloe Colburn's estate. And
like separate shifts, basically. so you don't get grouped again.
There's enough guards that you guys can come together if you want. All right, so the three of you are able to enter the estate without any issue, as you do indeed have a very nice way of dressing everyone up, Kim. You've done this before with some recent upgrades. You guys are able to kind of scope out the area and get everyone.
Ogre looks the finest he's ever looked.
Indeed, he is quite gorgeous.
He actually looks his age.
For once.
The three of you split up, yet remain close enough that if you need to assist each other, you guys are kind of within eye shot. As I mentioned, there are 4 floors. The main room is not open, so you guys cannot just walk into the room, obviously. It is locked. You need permission to get in, but you guys can move around the estate as per norm. Looking upon the first floor, obviously this person's wealth is just completely annoyingly, obnoxiously on display. Many of the guards are walking around. They seem relatively bored. No one's attempting to enter. You see someone at the front counter claiming they have a meeting with Miss Chloe, and they are quickly turned around and sent outward. They kind of sigh as they leave the building. Everyone seems on high alert, but not necessarily aggressively so. Just, they're looking about. They're not expecting anyone to bother breaking in. It's be stupid, honestly.
Stupid, they think.
Turns out everyone inside is already a spy.
They're all from different gangs.
Exactly.
Honestly, they probably are.
Probably. There's a good chance of it, honestly. I mean, everyone is a gang member.
Yeah, there's definitely no way we're the only ones trying this.
I mean, on short notice, maybe we are.
Upon looking about a bit, you see one of the guards at the top of the stair kind of wave down to another guard near the bottom. They quickly jaunt up, and you see them in conversation. They both kind of give each other a look of like, what? And they kind of look back to each other and go, all right, whatever. And the one that was called from this first floor up, 2 of them walk away.
Could we overhear anything?
Would you guys have gotten closer to do so?
I mean, assuming I'm in a position where I
Yeah,
could do
absolutely.
so without like raising massive suspicion, yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm not gonna run across the room to hear something.
Yeah, if you guys want to do that together, you guys can roll a group action. You want to do a lead action, however you want to do that.
What kind of role would that be?
Probably makes the most sense. You can use study or anything of that nature, but you are technically slowly moving over.
I can lead this if we're gonna prowl it.
Can I do a setup action and say Desmond knows how to read lips with a study? Or at least a little bit.
Sure. And with your current position, I'll just say risky standard.
Am I still rolling for that?
After he rolls, yes. Okay.
You should get a +1 effect, I believe.
So this will increase you to great risky, Kim.
Critical success, nice.
Alrighty, so nothing bad at all. As you sneak on forward, Kim, you are able to fully hear this conversation. Desmond kind of directs you and lets you know exactly where to stand and when. In fact, Desmond, you probably see this conversation before it even happens. You see them make eye contact, and you know that means get up here right now. I have something really important to tell you. And it's kind of like an oh shit moment. As the guy's walking up, you motion to Kim. Kim moves closer. And Kim, you're able to effectively hear a conversation between 2 individuals. The one that called the one from downstairs says, hey, we need backup up here. Something weird's happening. I honestly can't put it into words. I just need you to come look at this. You're into the weird shit, right? And the guy's like, not necessarily, no. And he kind of looks at him like, well, didn't we hire you for that? And he's kind of like shrugs like, I mean, define weird. And he gives him a look as if to say, like, you know what I mean. Something's acting up. Some of the guards are missing for whatever reason. We can't get into the room. They locked it for some stupid reason. And he's like, yeah, fine. And they both walk up to the second floor.
Now's our time.
Well, they locked it from the inside, so how are we gonna get in?
Well, we can,
You said it was a panic room, right?
Effectively, yeah.
Would it mean that it's like plated from the bottom?
Yes, the entire room, all 4 walls.
Wait, all 4?
Oh, the floor is now a wall, yeah.
Not all 6?
Sure, yeah. That one. 6, yeah. Four walls and ceiling floor.
We're gonna have to figure out which of the 2 walls is not guarded.
It's a very weirdly shaped room. Somehow it only has 4 sides. Have fun with that.
Ah, yes, the 4-sided, 6-sided dice.
It's just a giant D4 just sitting in the middle of their building.
That definitely would be a weird room.
All right, upon hearing this, Kim, what do you do?
I'm gonna go around and quickly counting all the guards, because I'm sure Desmond has an idea of how many guards to wear.
On floor 1, none seem to be missing, but you did expect, we'll say you expected about, in this area at least, 7 or so. 1 got pulled up, so 6, but there's only 5. So there's an additional 1 missing for whatever reason.
is it unrealistic for a guard to notice another guard panicking and just jump in to help?
Not really, no. Anything that's realistic or unrealistic, we can define by your character just saying, oh, I wanted to come here and help.
I'm gonna go do that.
That's part of your schmoozing stats. All right, so you head up to the second floor to say hey.
Yeah, I saw you waving. What's wrong?
While you see her doing that, Kim, did you convey this information to Desmond before you did that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I would say with critical success, you have more than enough time to do so.
We nodded our heads at each other knowingly.
Whatever sign you have, Kim, you're able to quickly pull off, and Desmond fully understands. As you see her going up to the second floor to assist Desmond, what are you doing?
First of all, I'm going to quickly count all the guards on all the floors, basically.
You
Do
going
a quick head count.
Are you going to each floor?
Yeah, I mean, the first 3 should be fine.
Okay. Well,
I don't have to go that far up. And if I run into Ogre, I'm going to ask him if he sees anything with his mask thingy, because he shouldn't be able to see anything here.
So that'll obviously take you a hot second to get everything counted and whatnot. So while you're doing that, we'll cut over to Kim. You rush up to the second floor, perfectly in time. You're just behind the 2 individuals, and you can see the one that's clearly in charge is still speaking to the other one. And he looks a little apprehensive about as they turn the corner. So this second floor itself is like it's a giant square-shaped hallway. And at each cardinal direction, there's a small, when I say small stair set, I mean like 5 steps that go down into the center area, and the center area has the safe room in it. So the safe room is pretty easy to see. Obviously, they want to make sure people can't really hide. There's a few like bushes and plants and such to make sure things look kind of nice, but it's very blunt in its structure and positioning. The 2 of them begin to descend the steps and walk toward this cube. Do you talk to them before or after they get to it?
Yeah, I'll call out, "Sir, is there something wrong?"
All right, the one in charge turns around, looks about real quick, and sees you and goes, "Oh," and kind of waves you to come on over to him.
I will hop over.
All right, scratches his beard real quick and gives you a quick look up and down. And says, "Nothing seems to be horribly wrong. Oh, why? Did I call for you?"
No, I noticed you looking a little frantic.
Oh, yes, apologies. Was I so obvious?
I happen to be looking the way. I just want to know if I could help.
Understood. Yes, there does seem to be, somewhat of an issue. As you can see here, I have this individual here to assist me. The guards seem to have locked themselves away in here. We're not entirely sure why. The room is supposed to be locked, but if we call or knock or ask for them, they're supposed to open. They are not. We hear nothing from the inside. And, well, unless you specialize in the weird, or what do you specialize in? What floor are you with?
You're in luck. I specialize in the weird.
Excellent. That would probably mean they stationed you in the second floor, then. We do tend to keep you folk nearby just in case anything goes wrong. Pointing to the door, he looks at the 2 and says, "What do you make of this?"
All right, give me a sec. I'll approach the door and feel it out.
When you say feel it out, what are you doing exactly? It's a big, flat metal room. Metal door. There's a handle, but it does not move.
Can I feel the presence of the ghost? Or is he referencing something else when he says sensing the weird?
That's what he's referencing. If you want to reach out, you'll need to roll a tune.
I bluffed that real good.
But you're still in a good position. So, Your attune is 1?
I'm in trouble.
I mean, you still made it.
You did it.
No, man. A critical success followed by a success with 1 die. I'm in trouble.
It's fine.
I believe in you. Okay. I was about to ask. Never mind. Okay, yeah, risky standards, perfectly acceptable. As you move closer to this door, Kim, you and the individual next to you put your hand on the door, close your eyes. You can hear him humming to himself. To your knowledge, this doesn't do anything, so you're not really sure his methods, but trying to ignore him.
Is it a concentrating hum, a happy hum, a sneaky hum?
He's concentrating. And with all that, you can kind of tone him out. He was actually a little distracting. But you're able to definitely feel something beyond this door. And with your eyes closed, you can almost like feel your body sinking away. And there's almost something on the other side touching you back. While your hand is indeed placed against this door, you can very faintly feel, one at a time, a fingertip meeting to each of yours. And they're cold. There's 100% something past there. I won't say if it's ghostly or something else. If you want to learn more, I'll have you roll again. But you do know, for a fact, there's something supernatural going on here.
Ghost voice. Hello? Who are you?
That causes the individual next to you to jump. And he kind of looks at you like, "Ugh," but you don't see this. You're too focused. You feel a coldness wash over your body. And you hear a voice and it definitely answers. But the second after it answers, you forget everything it said. You almost forget it answering entirely. Your mind is struggling to clutch onto whatever this feeling is. And you know that everyone around you, anyone on this floor and near this room in general, they're probably feeling this, but they don't know they're feeling it. And not only that, the hand that's touching yours, you start to feel it get closer. The fingertips move past yours and brush along your fingers, almost as if to lovingly embrace you, with his fingers curled around your palm.
Embrace in a mother's touch or a lover's touch?
It feels more like a lover's touch, yeah. And if you want to feel further, I'll have you roll again. But this doesn't feel like a ghost, I will say.
You mean roll again, attune, right?
Attune makes the most sense, yes. Of course, you can push yourself, you can do things of that nature, totally up to you. You're in a good position, so I'll put you as controlled.
Oh my god.
It's only if you want to know more. It's up to you.
Yeah, I kind of do. I don't trust my luck a third time. I'm gonna push my... And risky controlled?
Well, no, controlled standard, sorry.
Yes, it was a good thing I pushed myself.
Indeed. Partial success. So, we messed this up before. Now that I know how this functions, I'll give you the option. So I'm going to give you this information, Kim. You know this. You know if you push further, you'll have this information. But you're going to receive a level 1 harm in the process. If you want to pull back, you can, and just say no. But if you accept, you'll take level 1 harm and you'll get the information. Since you're in a controlled position, you know when to pull back.
You can also try to resist damage.
Yes, I'll try that. I'll try to resist the damage, so I'll do whatever to get that 1 harm. I can resist it, right?
You can resist any complication. Go ahead and roll me resolve. So you'll take 6 stress minus whatever you roll. All right, take 1 stress. Excellent. And no harm whatsoever. But a coldness washes over your body. It does not fully embrace you, but you feel as if it's beginning to. You're surrounded in inky, wet blackness. It drips and drips in the distance, as if it's filling something up. And the dripping gets louder and more frequent. You can feel its inky presence running over your flesh. And as you feel closer and deeper, there's definitely something in this room, something that shouldn't be in the room. Focusing even closer, you see yourself, Kim. You see your body with your hand held out, and you see an inky black presence standing opposed to you, limb held out to yours and almost fully engulfing your hand. You'll know when to pull away, since you have this bird's eye view. But gazing around, you can see a figure, multiple figures actually. They're all standing inside this room, unmoving, staring at something in the middle of the room. It's difficult to make it out, but this something in the middle of the room is the presence that's reaching out to you. It's the presence that's reaching out to all of them. Unfortunately, they couldn't control it or understand it, so maybe they're now thralls to it? It's difficult to tell precisely. But this is not something that's your friend, Kim. In fact, as you move closer and closer to it, trying to understand whatever this thing is, you can feel it starting to maliciously pull at you. And you know now would be a good time to pull away. But before you do, you can see, just for a brief moment, it's not just reaching out to you. And it's not just reaching out to the individuals in this room. It's reaching further. It's reaching down, up, to its sides. And as you fully zoom out, you can see that it's reaching throughout this entire building. And with that, you pull your hand away. With a gasp, you feel shivers run up your arm. Your hand is freezing, but you're back and you're fine.
I will cuddle my poor cold hand and turn to I assume it's the captain, right?
Yep, he's just kind of scratching at himself and looking at you and says, well, that was definitely something. What'd you find out?
I won't bother hiding how alarmed I am because it's real. This is bad, sir. What's in the middle of that room? Which item was it again?
He pauses for a moment and he pauses scratching at himself as well and kind of narrows his eyes and says, well, there's the standard items that we're here to look at. We did get something at the last second that we did hire someone to, give it the old 1-2. Why?
There's a demon in there and it's strong.
I mean, dealing what we deal with. What was your name again?
Lucy.
Lucy. Dealing with what we do. It's a rather risky profession. I'm sure you know that. But, well, let's be honest. Demons, ghosts, those things entice the rich. They're interesting. They'll pay out the ass for them. It's our job to guard and make sure things are functioning. We hired a specialist to come look at a rather unique item. That's why the room was locked. It's normally locked, of course, but we set up a little password, a little extra, special something for today. Just to make sure this special item, as I was made aware, was taken care of. I have no idea what it looks like, so I can't tell you what it is, but it's got to be worth a pretty penny.
It wasn't taken care of, sir. In fact, I'm pretty sure it'll kill us all if we don't figure out how to stop it now.
Well, a bit alarming. He looks to the other individual and says, what about you? what do you say? And he's just like, I mean, there's something in there, definitely, but I can't say exactly what it is.
Sir, please. That thing is reaching through all the floors, and everyone inside that room is enthralled by it.
I gives you another look. To convince this guy, that'll definitely require a roll. You'll be in a risky standard position. Another critical success. Either the dice like you, or something horrible's gonna happen.
Today you die.
Okay. With
It's
this,
fine. Desmond will come visit you in the hospital.
Oh my god.
he kind of bites his lip as he's thinking. You seem adamant. You seem very adamant, actually. He was kind of joking at first, like, oh, haha, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, I got that tone from him.
But he catches a look in your eye at almost the last second, and you see his tone change. His expression kind of goes, all right, you're being serious. You believe what you're saying. And you're not sure if a normal success or mixed success would have allowed him to believe you. But a critical success, rather than him going from, you're crazy and you believe this so thoroughly, and you look sane. You look scared, but you look smart scared, not I want to run away scared. And that causes him pause for a moment. And he kind of goes, all right, what do you recommend?
I'm good at what I do, but I think we need an actual expert. We need them soon.
Uh-huh. Well, all right. Do you happen to know one? I mean, the person next to you is supposed to be our expert, and they seem to be a bit lost for words. Don't you cross? And he's kind of like,
I'm gonna look at him a little, say, what?
he gives you a look of like, what? Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, there's a ghost or something in there, but how am I supposed to tell?
I'm gonna try real hard not to look like, oh my god, oh no.
The captain sort of gives you a giggle at this, and we'll cut over to Desmond. It, like I mentioned, will take you a little while to kind of count, but you do notice two things, Desmond. One, you notice upon walking by some guard that they're muttering to themselves, and if you draw any attention to them, or if they're pulled out of this stupor, they sort of snap to it and go like, huh, what? And if you were to ask, like, hey, you were saying something? They go, no. You also notice some guards they're wandering, but not logically. They're kind of just walking. And some of them are walking down to the second floor without being asked. And you know, Desmond, that the person on the floor is supposed to stay on that floor. Unless they are dismissed, or unless someone switches with them, they're supposed to stay there. So you see people from the fourth floor going down to the third going down to the second. You notice some people going from the first, going up, also people going down. But they're all just kind of walking around almost randomly. Not a ton, but a few people are doing this. It does definitely cause concern.
Have I run into Ogre at this point yet?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I would say Ogre probably would have noticed this as well on his side, because you guys were able to, split, get more done quickly. And Ogre
Considering that literally everyone is being distracted at this point, I would just ask him to put on his mask and see if he can see anything.
Okay. He'll go ahead and try to do that, and we'll have him reach to the great beyond.
I think I've asked this before already. What's the usual way to communicate with people like on different floors, or is it just walk up and down the stairs?
You have to walk to him or shout.
I mean, I don't think we have walkie-talkies in this world.
No, definitely not.
No.
Now there would be, those like old school like brass pipes that go from floor to floor. You can shout into those.
Nice.
They do have those, but they're in specific rooms, so not in every room, obviously. Ogre, upon putting on his mask and like looking about and kind of doing the same as Kim, but nowhere near as close to the proximity, whatever this thing is, he reaches out as well. And yeah, there's definitely something here, and it's emanating from the second floor, but it's already gotten its roots in fairly deep, and it's difficult to tell if it's physically moved outward and we just can't see it, or if its presence is just spreading.
Are you telling me it has become part of the building?
Hopefully not.
Well, that would be nice, a haunted mansion. Anyway, since everyone is distracted at this point, let's go downstairs.
Wait, why downstairs?
To your floor, because we're currently upstairs, at the third floor or something.
I was going to tell the captain that I know a couple of friends on...
I was gonna swing into his room and go like, are you in charge? Not anymore. And put out like a fake badge or something.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know a couple of friends and then call your names.
Yeah, sure.
He's starting to kind of move about.
He and Ogre are just like coming along or across the turn.
As Desmond and Ogre head on down, one thing you think you notice, you're not entirely sure. It takes you an extra hot second to get from the third floor to the second. But after you focus, you're there. It almost felt like you were walking for too long. Whatever. And now we're on the floor. You see Lucy speaking with someone that's clearly in charge and another individual that looks like they want to be let go. They're slowly kind of shuffling away from this big center room.
I'm gonna grab him by the scruff of his neck and make sure he stays because he's the expert and he needs the help.
As you look like, what? I did my thing. I looked at the wall and there's a ghost in there. You're better. You don't need me.
I need everyone I can get.
He's about to give you a look and say something, but the commander looks down at him and says, You'd best listen, buddy. We did hire you for this one thing, did we not? And he kind of goes, and he straightens up and says, yes, sir. And Ogre, Desmond, two of you descend to the second floor. And Kim, you can see them heading down the stairs.
I'll call out your code names. Hey, we have a situation over here.
I'll just walk up to the chief and do the thing. Are you in charge here?
He looks to you and just kind of gives you a quick up and down and says, yes.
I'll put it like a badge. Well, not anymore, you are.
He squints and looks at it and says, I'm sorry, who are you exactly?
The name's Richard from... Who's an organization that has like... that does like spirit stuff.
You could say you're sent on behalf of the Spirit Wardens.
Yeah, special consultant for the Spirit Wardens.
You're at the Spirit Containment Protocol.
Sure.
Perfect.
I've been sent out here to keep guard of the pearl inside. And it looks like, well, this area is no longer safe. Something
I'm
has
immediately
breached it.
going to salute you and start describing what I felt inside.
A demon. I shouldn't be able to demons to get in here with the pearl, unless it was inside of it all along. You turn to Ogre and ask him if you ever heard anything about weird things happening with the pearl.
He's already pulled out. You know those like the multi-binocular where it like keeps clicking down and gets smaller and smaller?
Yeah.
He pulls out one of those and is looking at the door. And he's like, I can't say I've heard of it, but definitely quite interesting. Oh, actually. Yes, I can see right through. Oh, we've got a pretty whole infestation here. We should probably clear the place out.
That's what I was thinking. All your men have been compromised already, I'll say to the chief. They're wandering about in its thrall. You should probably get them out as quick as possible.
You guys clearly know way too much. So he kind of gives you a look of like, all right. And he looks at the three of you again. He's kind of scratching his head to see if he recognizes you guys or not. You said you were sent from somewhere else, Desmond. After you make these claims, consort is your role. So I would say go with that. It'd be risky standard because you did come out of nowhere. You are coming through with no, not risky standard. We'll say risky great because you do have the ability to make fake documents and such.
Yeah, and I have fine for those as well, I believe.
They're high quality. He gives you a look and he's not entirely sure. After somewhat of a shrug, alarm is general suspicion. He is less suspicious of you in particular. I'll add one tick to the clock. And more so just like, all right. I mean, y'all look like you say you are. He's a little confused that you guys are very quickly, almost a little too good and efficient at this. Like, a little too well what you're doing. He was only expecting just, standard rough and tumble guards, stab, not,
I hide my annoyance because I didn't come here to rescue people. I came here to steal something.
Which you're able to do. Well, he's not looking at you, Lucy. He's looking at Richard. And, all right. Well, there's a really hefty amount of people here. Do you mean the folk up top are brain drained too? To my knowledge, it was just this floor that we were having issues in. Did you see the upper floors, Richard?
I could feel it reaching up and down. I don't know if it reached far enough for the top floor, sir.
Yeah, all right.
Feel free to look around and check for yourself, but people aren't in their right mind right now.
Alrighty, well...
It's best to get them out as quick as possible.
Sure. You're
you
incredible.
You can stay inside of the premises at least.
Of
Guarding
course.
the doors if you want.
Of course. What makes the three of you so... You don't seem to be worried.
We've dealt with this before. Or
Yeah.
something like it at least.
Specialists, all right. Well, we need more folk like you. And he looks to the boy, and then doesn't say anything, looks back to you guys, and says, I'll head up to the fourth floor. I'll see how they're handling things, and, shit goes south. We'll pull everyone out. Obviously, the goods are here. We don't necessarily need to be in those upper floors. There's fewer folk up there anyway. I doubt anyone would come through a window up there. It seems kind of like suicide to me, but it is what it is. And, I seem fine, so I'll probably just hang out here if you guys got any questions. My men are in there after all. I'm not going to abandon them. So you do what you do here. If you need to open the door, don't. Preferably if this actual issue, is real. I trust you guys. It's just not something I normally deal with. But I'd greatly prefer it if you didn't just release, all of hell onto us.
Well, that depends how the entity is going to react to us.
Fair enough.
I'm not sure there's a way to deal with it without opening
All right, well, if you're going to piss it off, at least wait for me to, move a bit and get some of my guys out of here. Sound fair?
Fair, sir.
5-minute head start.
Yeah, good enough. And he gives you all a quick nod and heads up the stairs to floor 3 and floor 4 to go double check on them and pull them out if he needs to. You guys are effectively alone on this floor. There's like 2 more guards walking around, but that's it.
I'll turn to the other guy. Are there any more experts?
I mean, there are supposed to be a few, yeah, but he just kind of grabbed me. Y'all seem to know what you're doing, though. I don't think you need me anymore, right?
No, I need you and I need them. Can you go find them, please?
Oh, God, you need me for what exactly? You said this demon. I didn't feel a demon in there. I'm not messing with that.
I need bodies. We need to kill this thing.
I'm sorry, we're hired as guards.
Yeah, you're hired as guards to protect the stock and your fellow guards.
All right, you can tell he really does not want to go. He's half, I'm going to just leave. So if you want him to stay, one of y'all need to convince him to do so to help.
You know what? Go find the other specialist and then you can go. At this point, you're a detriment to everyone's safety.
You can tell he's spooked enough that he might not even do that. So if you want him to succeed and to go do this and find them, one of y'all can roll. Sway, you do it. He's starting to kind of chicken out, and some of the insults don't really help too much, but something kind of clicks, and he remembers something. And he's almost looking past you, Kim, and kind of nods and goes, all right, I think she was on the 3rd floor. Should have been someone on the 1st, maybe. I don't remember. Someone else should be inside the box. Clearly didn't help them. I'll be right back. And he jogs on up to the 3rd floor.
Finally alone. Ish.
Seriously, that thing's dangerous. What do we do?
Are you sure it was a demon?
It didn't feel like a ghost. It felt a little too strong and domineering to be a ghost.
Well, if it turns out that this massive pearl is in fact a demon, which I guess would explain why nothing wants to get close to it, then honestly there's no point in us getting it either.
But then how did it get out?
Maybe there's someone inside. Tried messing with it. He did say you sent someone in, right, to check it?
Yes.
No. Might be for the best to check it at least. We can always...
How much of it was a rival gang that doesn't know what they're doing? Ugh.
Probably. Wouldn't be surprised. If it's bad, we can always tip in the actual spirit wardens. Have them deal with it.
We might need to. It's, I repeat, very strong.
Is the door safe?
Do I think the door would be safe to open?
Not this very second, but it also might be worse to leave it closed for much longer, so...
Did you say it felt like you were in contact with the ghost itself when you held the handle?
I would say I pushed my hand against the door, not the handle, and yes, it felt like I was in touch with it.
Alright, Desmond is going to try something then. He's gonna take off his left hand glove again. He's gonna shake hand with the door handle.
Alright, you're attempting to reach out to this thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a contract with it.
Okay. It has to agree to want to shake hands with you for this to work.
Yep, that's Kavit, I guess. What do I want the contract to be? Let us in and we won't harm you?
Yeah, but that puts us in danger because it could harm us.
Yeah. We won't harm you, you won't harm us.
Do demons want anything usually, or do they just want to cause terror and mayhem?
They want all types of things. That is one of the things that some of them want. Some want to be left alone.
Can you make a deal to make a deal?
You can effectively make a request, and I'll let you know if you can feel like it accepts you or not. Just requesting, though, is definitely dangerous. Reaching out to this thing is not necessarily something you want to do. Risky, but it could pay off.
You could have Kim ask again what it wants specifically.
I would have, but I think my trying to figure out what it was at first took too much time, and then I got freaked out. If you make a deal to make a deal, I can ask what it wants. Is making a deal to make a deal a little too vague?
Not necessarily, no. You can basically make a request, and I'll let you know if it accepts it or not.
That's the thing, we'd have to give him something back probably.
Okay, and then I guess the only thing is if we can't actually fulfill the deal at once, that'll backfire on you real bad, right?
Yeah, but that depends on the specific deal that I make. Because if I don't make a contract with him to fulfill his side of the part, so like if the deal is just to make a deal and not to fulfill the deal, then it's fine.
Okay, that's fair.
I think I'm going to want to go with something like, open the door, we want to talk, and in return, what do we give him, is the question.
Obviously a little risky, but you can reach out and try speaking with it again. You do have that ability.
Yeah, and I won't waste time trying to figure out what it is.
You guys are alone for now, so.
Can I do a quick reach out and ask what it wants?
Yeah, definitely.
I have Ogre take a better look and see if it's actually a demon or something else entirely. If he can even see that from here.
Yeah, let me ask what it wants, and then he can do that.
Sure, go for it. Risky standard. I'm going to start a mystery clock for you. The room grows slightly colder as you reach out and you're asking what it wants, correct?
Yeah, I'm gonna end up with trauma from this mission, aren't I?
The complication is this clock not touching you, so you're safe. And as you do that, you just hear a whisper surround you. It's not coming from the box. It seems to be coming from everywhere. And it just says, I want more. Bring me more.
More what? You gotta be a little more specific.
You feel your connection wane with this thing, but you know what's already in there that should not be in there.
Like what? There's people and items.
There are more people in there than should be.
Certainly. I counted them.
So it wants people?
That's a safe assumption.
Why do you need those people?
So I will say every question's going to require a roll if you got more questions.
I will roll for it.
Okay.
Can I say for Ogre, while Kim was talking, if he can take a look at like the kind of connection he was making to see if he can get a better grasp of what it is? Or a more specific grasp of what it is, I guess.
So while she's speaking to it, have Ogre kind of reach out to like see what this thing is?
Yeah.
Okay. Should we push for this one for Ogre or just roll 4?
I would assist him, but I'm not sure how I would do that.
That's a good point.
Because I don't really have any magic stuff.
I'm going to go ahead and push. Let's get 5 so we can get a solid answer, just to make sure. Are you kidding me?
Ogre's luck prevails even when he's not here.
He's not even here. Oh, man. All right. Well, he indeed attempts to reach out. Unfortunately, he's going to completely fail. I'm going to fill up more of this clock. Sorry. So we already have one full clock, and the second one's about to be full. The room grows colder as you ask. What was your second question again, Kim?
What do you need the people for?
As you ask this, you feel Ogre sort of reach out to determine precisely what you're speaking with. And he kind of twitches a bit, and you can see a lot of the hairs on his arm stand up and sort of freeze in like one motion. And he is focusing on the door, and he goes to like scratch at them, and the hairs just like fall right off. And as he kind of pulls away, like, you can see just like a sheen of ice on the door. Wiggling his hands off like, ooh, spicy. And looking around the corner, Desmond, Richard, I did say there were 2 guards walking around this general area. You don't see them walking around anymore. They're just seemingly gone. It's also weirdly quiet. The commander hasn't come back yet. In fact, you guys kind of heard occasionally the shifting shuffle of footsteps above you. You do still sort of hear them, but they're much quieter now. Much more infrequent. You do hear a consistent thudding, though. Just like a dunk, dunk, dunk. It's perfectly rhythmic now that you can kind of focus on it.
From which direction?
From above you. Definitely one of the other floors, not coming from this room. When you ask what it wants the bodies for, it just says, they belong to me. They return to me.
They belong to me and they return to me?
Well, that's perfectly ominous.
Yeah, I want to back away from the door and discuss this with the guys.
Ogre's like wiping the frost off his hands.
Well, we're either going to get the hell out of here, or we're breaking down the door right now. And I don't think we're getting out of here, honestly.
I mean, I think we probably could if we leave right now, but...
I don't think we're in the building anymore, honestly.
Oh, that's fair. Okay, what exactly says we belong to it? Is this like the ocean, taking sailors or something?
It's a fair question.
I also don't think we can reason with this thing.
Definitely not. Well, unless I promise to give it more, but I don't want to do that. Well, I guess I would be willing to sacrifice all the guards in this building for our lives. Desmond is willing to go that far.
Did I get the impression the creature would stop with everyone in the building? I'm thinking not.
It seems vast in its aspirations.
I'm going to say that. I don't think it'll stop at just the building.
No, but it's going to need more people, probably.
I think we should call it the Spirit Wardens.
We would have to get out of here first. You can check if you can go downstairs.
I can probably do that real quick, right? Because the guards are acting all not themselves.
Realistically.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and do Kim things and hurry downstairs to see if I can get out.
Alrighty, as Kim dashes off, there is a spiral stair set that goes down from 2 to 1. Desmond, as you're kind of looking around the room, what are your first thoughts? What you doing?
First, I'm going to listen if, as Kim is going downstairs, is like the sound stops, basically. Like if she's walking too far or further than she should be.
It is quiet enough that you can indeed hear her footsteps, and she begins heading towards the stairs, and I'll cut back to that in a second. The sound of her does not go away. In fact, you hear her descend the stairs, and it doesn't sound like she's getting any quieter.
He's definitely has counted the steps on the stairs, so he knows that if she's stuck on the stairs, basically.
And while you're listening, just beyond, probably around this big center room, you hear what you thought was maybe someone walking or pacing, but now it sounds more like breathing. It sounds like someone's breathing heavily through their teeth, just like, and it like stops, and then they continue again. Kim, coming back to you real quick, I did mention these are a spiral set of stairs, and as you head down them, you head down them, you head down them, and they do not seem to end.
And I go back up.
Okay. You ascend for a somewhat worrying amount of time. Before panic can set in, though, you're back on floor 2. And Desmond, the entire time she went down, it sounded like she was the same distance away. Just tap, 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 heading down the stairs, and then pause, and then tap, 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 heading up the stairs.
Nope, we're stuck. Let's bring down the door.
Mm-hmm. Oh, where did you bring the bomb?
I always brought the bomb. What kind of bomb do we need this time?
Smallest one you have.
Small bombs don't work for me, sorry.
Well, and whatever leaves a nice hole.
What kind of shape are we looking for? I got plenty.
Just something to blow off the door handle.
Yeah, it should be fine as long as we hide on the other side of the room. Let's see. Oh, this will do. All right, let me go and add some heat for that. And as he's kind of shuffling around in his bag, the two of you hear coming from up top, that thudding has not stopped. But you hear a second thudding, except it's softer, it's quieter. It's more like a and it gets louder and louder as you gaze to your right, see the steps, you see one of the guards' hats just kind of bouncing and rolling on the stairs. Just doot, 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 doot. And it kind of rolls a bit and then stops. About 2 feet away from the bottom of the steps.
Well, that's weird.
I'm assuming that thudding is someone banging their head against the wall.
Like, you could check the other stairs if you want, if you dare.
No thanks.
Yeah, just blow it open for now.
Ogre begins to set the bombs up. Looking about, he says, there's some back rooms we can hide in and we can switch around the other side of this room. Which y'all prefer?
Probably go around the corner.
Yeah, it seems fine, yeah. I do want to be kind of close. I want to hear it.
Yes, I also don't want to, enter a room and suddenly find myself alone.
And as he sets up these bombs, y'all kind of whip around the corner. And as you do, you can see that one of these back rooms is open. And the door is kind of just swinging on the hinge just ever so slightly. There's no light in the room. It's completely dark, but all the other doors are closed. Besides that, though, the next immediate thing you notice is one of the other guards, the two that were on this floor with you guys, the second one is there, and he's leaning up against the same side of the square. So if the door was on the south side of the square, he's on the north side, and he's kind of looking around the corner. You can tell he's holding tightly onto this, and he was the one breathing heavily. You can hear it's coming from him, Desmond.
Does he look sane?
You can only see his back.
I don't want to talk to him.
I think at this point we're basically ignoring everyone else.
Yes.
As the two of you kind of walk around this corner, Ogre is still setting up the bomb, and he doesn't really notice you guys, but he puts his hands down as he kind of scratches his nails along the outside of this room, and he starts walking towards Ogre.
Scratch his nails in a crazy fashion?
Yes, his head is kind of pushed down, and his shoulders are hunched up. He's dragging his back left foot.
I'm just gonna body block him.
You're running his way?
Yeah.
He's not moving quickly, so you're able to do so, and he isn't looking forward. His chin is tucked against his chest, so his lips are peeled back, teeth exposed, and he's just breathing heavily, wide-eyed. He stops and just kind of waits there, and then he starts to kind of walk around you.
I shimmy to the side. I'm just blocking his path at this point.
He breathes out again loudly. I need to get in!
Well, let us open the door for you then.
I need to get in now! And he starts to make a quick dash around you.
I slam him against the wall.
Okay, what are you going to roll for that?
Wreck, probably.
All right, sounds good. A risky standard. All right, you just slam this fool against the wall, and you can hear something displace, probably his shoulder. He doesn't seem to feel it, though. And his whole body is almost like magnetically drawn to around the corner. He's almost ignoring you. He's like pulling his head and his arms and any like limb that is free that you don't have pinned against the wall. He is reaching desperately to get around the corner. And Ogre's just kind of whistling to himself, just having a good time setting these bombs up. And you see Desmond just tackle this dude against the wall.
Is it back to the wall or chest to the wall?
You tell me.
So how close is the stairs to me?
The stairs are a good 15 feet from where you are.
Okay. Because I'm going to throw this guy down the stairs any moment now.
Oh, those stairs. Those are a good, like, those are fairly far. Those are like 30 feet away.
Okay, no, never mind then. If there's a room nearby with like an open door or something, I'll throw him in there, I guess.
There is indeed the room with the open door.
Well, I was going to come over and kick him real good in the crotch to just try and disabilitate him, whatever the word is.
Discombobulate. Like, he's a bit out of it. I'm not sure that would work. But sure, go ahead.
I mean, if his body isn't functioning, he can't walk, right?
Like, at this point, I'm basically imagining it as Desmond is holding his head against the wall.
Okay, as you're holding his head and his body against the wall, he's starting to kind of snap at you, and his teeth are just like biting down really hard, and he can't move. You got him pinned. And Kim, what do you do as you see that?
Any moment now, Ogre.
Crotch bash.
You move into Crotch Bash, and you strike him. You get him dead on, but as you do, the two of you hear a creaking behind you, and that door that was like half open is now fully open.
And what's behind it?
Nothing. Dark room. You don't see anything.
Like pitch black or just no light?
No light. The light from this room is spilling into it. That's about it.
Why would you tell us this? I'm starting to feel really anxious, husband.
Desmond doesn't trust that. Close that door now.
I will close the door.
You know
All
what?
right.
Wait a second. I'll try to throw the guy into the room and then close the door.
All right, is this a
Make it
group throw, or are you chucking him by yourself?
Yeah, make it a group throw.
Okay.
I'll chuck it in and Kim can close the door.
Okay.
What do you want to roll for that now?
Y'all can decide wherever you want.
For me, it's more of a wreck, and for her, it's a finesse thing.
Yeah.
You can set up the other player if you wish. You could just give them +1 die. Up to you. Depends who's supporting who wants to stress, or who wants to increase effect.
I mean, I definitely need some stress at this point, and Kim does not.
If you want, you can basically be supporting Kim in the general tomfoolery of just throwing this guy into this room. So Kim, you can roll finesse makes sense to move on over, close the door as Desmond's throwing in, and then add +1 die from him helping you, and that should be good.
That also works.
There we go. You two are able to kind of whip over quickly. He doesn't bite you, Desmond. He's not able to kick or anything. He flails a bit, but you're a chunky lad, and his hand kind of just like
Wait, how did he take the crotch bash?
in stride. He almost ignored it entirely. He was
Oh, that's alarming.
It was a solid kick, though, Cam. The door also distracted you just a wee bit. And as you hurl this fool in there and slam the door shut, Ogre whips around the corner and goes, "All right, I'm done. It's time to... The hell's that?" And he points directly above you guys.
I look up.
You look up to see one of the guards just latched onto the ceiling with his head arced back, staring at both of you.
I throw a knife.
Okay.
Can I do this Despot Great?
How high is the ceiling? And don't give yourself too much stress, please.
I don't need to do stress to swap from Desperate to Great, do I?
Nope.
No.
You may flip-flop those as you
But
will.
if you fail, you're still going to take it, probably.
Partial. We'll say mark experience, obviously. In this position, the individual will just squeal at you, almost like a pig. It's incredibly unnerving. As you hurl your knife, may I ask where you're aiming?
Throat. I want to kill.
Oh, okay, going for the throat. Wow, all right. Oh, my God. Going for the other head.
The other head, yes.
Okay. Your knife...
Now we find out if it matters if they're alive or not.
Yes, we will find out. I hope to God it matters.
Your knife hurls through the air as he flings himself at you in this squeal. You roll and dive off to the side as your knife indeed strikes true. And as it does, his lifeless body falls to the floor. You hear some rustling in the back room and some cracking, but they're seemingly stuck. After watching this corpse for just a second, he's dead. He twitches a couple times, but he's actually just bleeding out, and he stops moving entirely.
Can I quickly shove his body in front of the door to hold it closed?
You may, and I'll add more to the timer, which will fill it up again. And as that happens, he exhales, and it's almost like a dust just kind of out of him.
Ogre, blow the door up, please!
It should be blowing up now. And as he says that, you guys hear a and the whole room shakes. The ceiling lets go of whatever plaster was just barely able to hold on. And he goes, "Yep, see, we should be fine." And he whips around to see that the door is mostly kind of still on. It didn't fully break it off.
Makes sense. It is a safe room, after all.
Yeah, it's true, that's true. I can tinker with it for a while to bust it open if you want. It looks like it loosened it quite a bit.
Leave it to me, and I'll just dash to the door and try to ram it open.
Oh, can I help?
Sure.
All right,
Wait, how much wreck do you have?
Yep, none.
All right, some extra stress for me. That's fine. Or do you want to make it a setup or something? A system then? That's up to Ogre.
He can tinker it a bit to, like, pry loose anything to make it more optimal for you if you want.
I mean, sure, if he wants to.
Sure, I'll do that.
It's an assist or lead.
Yeah! That's a setup. This is going to give you great effect when you ram into it. That's a full success from the Tinker Boy. All right, as Desmond's getting ready to ram this, Kim, what are you doing?
I think I'm going to have knives prepped to kill any guards that might jump out at us.
Right.
Rugby tackle.
So what would even happen if I try to changed it to desperate. Is there something above great effect?
Above great effect is extreme effect. That's usually reserved for crits. I don't know. I think you are. I don't know if you're allowed to go from great to extreme by just spending stress or trading. I would assume so. The weird thing is extreme effect isn't technically listed in the rulebook, and if it is, I didn't see it. So I do know it generally goes no effect, limited, standard, great.
I'll just keep it this one.
Oh no, I mean great effect, you're going to beat the shit out of the store. I'll let you choose, Mr. Desmond. You know when you ram this thing, I'll let you either get it in 1, but you'll take 2 harm from basically dislodging your shoulder, or...
I'll take the harm and use my armor to reduce it to nothing.
Perfect.
My padded shield, padded coat.
Excellent. All right, yeah, go ahead and check that bad boy. And with your extra armor, you're able to position yourself properly and use it as, like, the extra cushion, and you got your general cushion that's just kind of built in to ram this door open. And you can hear it just kind of like the metal just scrape and just as it just pushes on in. And at first you're like, are you serious? But you can tell it's loose. It would just require like one more push. It's like barely on. It mostly hasn't fallen over just because the explosion has like rattled all the metal and the frame, but it's ready to come out. As you ram it though, and you have your knives ready, that smoke, that dust that came out of that corpse's mouth, you see it kind of floating through the air, and it kind of floats over Desmond's shoulder and into the room.
Do we have any idea what souls look like?
What souls look like? Not necessarily, but that was not a soul.
Does Ogre know what it is?
It moved a little too quick.
Did it look like sand?
What kind of roll would we even need to do to identify that?
I would probably say it's definitely supernatural, 100% supernatural. I would say something attune based, unless you are well studied in the supernatural, then I would probably say study. But I can roll attune to kind of have him reach out to see what it is, unless...
I have study, but I'm not very in the know of the magical stuff. So.
Yeah, and Ogre's attune is the highest, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah. Like if you want, your attune is also bad-ish.
Your resolve's a big L. Take the L, Kim.
We could do as a group roll and do like have Ogre do it, and we can assist him.
My
Maybe
prowess
he'll
is an
guess.
F.
Your prowess is an F. This is true. If you want, he can roll a tune. Y'all can roll a tune next to him, and then see how that plays
Who
out.
knows? My attune is only a 0. What can go wrong?
Literally nothing.
It's only 1 stress.
Sure. All right, everyone, go ahead and roll a tune. We're all trying to figure out what the F this is.
It's not too bad.
Only 2 stress.
Oh, he succeeds anyway.
Boop, and we do
2 stress
succeed.
for Ogre.
I didn't need you guys. You're holding me back.
Sorry.
Well, you guys aren't able to see shit, but I guess cheering on Ogre. This is, or was, part of whatever's in there. It's returning to it. And along the edges of the door, you see this inky blackness that is foamy and bubbly, but also very sticky. And it's mostly on the inside. You can tell ramming this door kind of dislodged some of it. And it sneaks through the crack. And as the door is cracked open, Desmond, since you're so close to it, a very foul odor assaults your senses.
I'm going to take a step back, and I assume Ogre relates the message that was something that was from there.
Yeah, he let you guys know that whatever that thing was came from in there, and now that the guy's dead, it was returning.
Then Desmond is going to assume that basically don't breathe anything in that room. So he's going to like take a step back and take a deep breath in, and then open the door further.
And Kim, you said you're just hanging back with your knives ready?
Yeah. We should have bandanas on us, though, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Would have
I'll-
worked, though?
I mean, it's probably better than nothing. I'll pull it out and tie it on.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, realistically, part of your disguise kit, you could easily rip up. You guys don't need the disguise anymore at this point. You can rip a part off or rip it
Actually-
off from somebody else.
I can flash back to having gas masks for all of us prepared.
Oh, that'll work.
That would definitely function. Yeah, do you want to do that?
Especially if the thing that possesses you is physical.
I mean, it did look physical, right? It was more of a gust kind of thing.
A little bit of both. It's worrisome, definitely, I would say.
Definitely.
To get
What
that,
do I do for a
we can do a
flashback again?
Yeah, we can do a quick flashback. This will be a combination of various things. You can use your consort basically to chit chat with various folk. This one will cost 1 stress. That's it. But it'll also cost 1 coin per tier of. I don't like calling it failure because a mixed success is a success, not a failure. So if you fail, 2 coin, mixed success, 1 coin, pure success, no coin.
Sure. Would this count as acquiring an asset, technically?
You're basically acquiring an asset, yeah, effectively.
So does that mean I get the +1 from the die from that for our backrat thing?
Yep. When you acquire an asset, take 1 die. If you want to use that, spend, because normally when you acquire an asset or do a downtime activity, that costs 1 coin flat. If you want to do that, then I'll say it costs 1 coin, and I can take that away from the clan.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'll just subtract it from the vault. We have plenty in there. And then same rule will apply. So you can roll 5. And this is a gas mask for everybody, all 3 of you. Excellent. Okay. So go ahead and subtract 1 coin from yourself, Desmond. And all 3 of you now have a functioning gas mask. All right. You guys don these masks?
Yes.
All right. We have mask asks. And as you guys are kind of suiting up, you hear something or someone descending the stairs from floor 3. Are we turning our attention to that, or are we going straight into the room?
That's a very good question.
Do we want to go into the room?
Not really.
Honestly, I was half tempted to just say to Ogre to, like, you have some more bombs on you, throw one inside.
And do the footsteps sound normal or deranged?
They're slow, which I would say is not normal, but
Yeah.
they don't sound like broken. They're not dragging their feet. But if them was panicked, they'd be running down the stairs, not walking.
Is the door fully open now?
It would literally take 1 more push. It's seemingly held in place by whatever sticky stuff is around the door. So it's open. You can literally just push it.
I'm gonna push it open. I want Ogre to check if, like, the pearl is the actual source of this.
So you want Ogre taking lead to kind of look in. I will say from a distance, the 2 of you can see into the room pretty easily. Just let me know where you're positioned.
If he can see in, then he can see if it's actual, like, caused by the pearl itself, yeah.
Okay. So I guess the question is Ogre, like, peeking, or are you knocking the door down entirely so all 3 of you can see in?
I figured we knocked it down.
Does he gain anything from opening the door further at this point? Or does he have a good view of the pearl?
So you can crack it if you want, and he could probably look in. He'd have to get close to the door, unfortunately, to do so. Or you can just knock the whole thing over, then all 3 of you can see in.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I'll do a setup in that case.
Realistically, this doesn't require a roll. You already knocked it over. You just need to push it. But I'm basically giving you that as a control.
I mean,
yeah.
I use it as a setup action, knocking down the door further, so he has a better shot at identifying the pearl, basically.
Well, fortunately, from the door, he can tell you. This doesn't require a roll. And good news, I guess, it's not coming from the pearl. In fact, you guys can see there's a pedestal in the back of the room where the pearl is just sort of sitting. It's glowing ever so slightly, but nothing's coming from it. There's a little bit of that black shit on it, and by it, I mean like the glass case around it, but that's about it. The thing, though, absolutely unmistakable. The 3 of you see, in the center of this room, a gargantuan table, and on this table is sitting the corpse of a leviathan. It's cut open, and all the people inside are standing in front of it. Some are a good 5 feet away, others are close. They're on their knees, and they're dipping their hands into the slit belly of this beast and consuming its innards.
Why in the 7 hells is there a Leviathan corpse at an auction?
Well, I can tell you one thing. Those guys in White Crown are into some interesting stuff. This, however, should not be here.
How flammable are Leviathan corpses?
They got plenty of oil in them, so if you can get it burning, you can get it burning.
Would that fix our problem? Because that is the source, right?
This is definitely the source, yes.
So, Ogre, how many bombs did you bring?
I brought plenty. I will say, though, upon seeing this, since you all wanted to see this, it's going to, by default, just be a level 1 resolve harm, unless you wish to resist it. Something sick. Ooh,
I mean,
wow.
I don't think I have anything to resist it, I guess.
You have 3 in resolve, so you can hold firm and resist if you want.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah. I'll try, I guess.
This is why I put points in all 4.
Smart, yeah, you get 0. You get 0, Kim. You haven't seen something like this specifically before, but you're able to hold firm. You take no stress and no harm. All right, Desmond, only take 1 stress. Do I roll for Ogre or do I just take the harm? He only has 1 in resolve.
Oh, take the harm.
I mean, if you fail a resolve roll, you don't lose anything, right?
You gain 6 stress minus what you roll. He's only rolling 1 die.
Yeah, that's true.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I roll a 1, so there's a 1 in 6 chance that he gets a trauma here.
Oh, please don't take the harm.
Yeah.
He was staring too deep into the abyss and it stared back at him. Let's go with that.
Yeah, effectively. The 3 of you are able to hold firm. Ogre seems a little shaken. It's difficult to tell. He's always kind of like this. But he's staring at it for an extra second longer. It's a little worrisome, but he kind of shakes his head and snaps out of it and looks back to you guys and says, "What was that about a bomb?"
Get it ready.
All right.
The firebomb specifically, by the way. Is it reasonable to assume that because this is a Leviathan thing, it makes sense that the ghost orb isn't working on it?
So that would make sense, but there's a possibility it's also suppressing it ever so slightly, meaning it could potentially be worse.
I don't mind it being worse, honestly, as long as we get out of here. There is a good chance that if we hold on to it, then we will be less affected and be able to escape, is my logic.
Indeed.
I'm going to use Kim's recklessness for good for once and tell her to get the pearl.
Done.
Alrighty, the pearl's in the back of the room, Kim, past all these bodies and past the corpse. You can tell that the malicious force was 100% coming from the body of this thing.
Are all the men inside the room gathered around it?
All of them are looking directly at it. The door has fallen and made a loud clang, and they pause for a moment and then continued feasting.
I'm gonna skirt around the edge of the room.
As you do, you get a better look at these people, and you see these like black lines of ichor that are running out of this corpse, and they're running along the floor and up along the legs of these guards. They have them held firm, and these little tendrils, fingers of darkness, are leeching over all the bodies of these people and holding them still, and they're slowly walking towards the body. I like 5 of them are just voraciously just digging in and just tearing chunks of this intestines apart, and they're just drinking the liquids that are coming off this thing. It smells awful, Kim. It smells absolutely putrid in here. Not just death. There's something else.
Do we have any idea what is happening right now?
I mean, we do live in the docks. We probably heard someone talk about this.
Exactly.
I would say not fully, but it's best to not mess with leviathans. This one is smaller, I will say. It does fit on the table. It's not whale. It's not a whale, obviously. It's the size of like maybe a really big like seal or like a walrus. And it's been cut from like its upper chest all the way down to like groin, effectively. So it's like flayed open. They've like jumped into this thing's corpse. It's difficult to tell what it used to look like. Upon running around to the backside, you can probably get a better look. Various fins and horns and, you know, curled spikes and such jut off from this thing, and has one massive eye in the middle of its head that looks very much dead. And they're just feeding off this thing. Like the spores, I guess you want to call them that, like dust that came out of the guy's mouth. Some of it is like exuding from this thing, and occasionally they'll move it, and various wounds will kind of like puff out, and more will come out. You do know that obviously the Leviathan fluids, the oil, can be used to create the electromagnetism for electroplasmoids, whatever it's called, the energy that we use here in Duskwall. But we are messing with demonic entities from the deep. Some of these things we should not be touching. Some people, we are aware, have found various ways to turn them into drugs, turn them into... Some people want to eat them. Some people think they'll gain the powers of a god if you consume one. Some people keep them as pets. They're crazy enough to do that. You're not sure what was going on here. Maybe they were trying to pull out something from this thing. Maybe like one of its organs could grant eternal life, something along those lines. Who knows? They were clearly experimenting and trying to verify something. You guys have heard tons of rumors because of where you live. And any of those things could be true. We don't know. There is some interesting folk here living in Duskwall.
All right, well, I'm sure the criminals on the streets are more experts than whoever tried to do this here, so this was just a dumb idea.
Someone messed up. Yeah, straight up.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'll say, Kim, to you specifically, upon looking closer to a few of these guards, not all of them are dressed appropriately. Some of their guard uniforms have various errors that probably only you or one of the commanders would have recognized.
Yup.
If you want to dash back here and grab this pearl, it's definitely going to take a roll. It's super dangerous. Are you rushing or are you staying quiet?
In between.
Like, before she does that, can I do like a study roll to see if there's anything else valuable inside?
You're kind of like checking in the room.
A quick look around, basically. See if there's anything else of value we can take up.
Yeah, I do want to snatch stuff along the way if you want to point anything out.
Sure.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I'm going to push myself on it, which is 2 stress, right?
Correct. That'd just be risky standard.
That's some bad rolls, though. Huh?
Good. That's good. Partial success means you still succeed. You get what you want. All right, I'll add more to this clock. As we're waiting, since you're focused on this, the individual coming down the stairs has not come up to you guys, but he's gotten relatively close. Ogre turns and he greets the commander, just kind of like, oh, hey, buddy. Gazing at him for a second, Desmond, after you kind of look over the room real quick. It takes you an extra second. So I'll say 2 things. I'll increase the clock by 1, and it'll take you an extra second to gain this information. That'll basically be the consequence.
Is it the commander that went upstairs to double check his men?
Yeah, it's the one you spoke to. So Desmond, you do see many valuables in here. Some of them are unfortunately way too close to this corpse. They're not worth touching. But there are some. The pearl is in the back left corner of the room. You see some things in the back right corner. There are some portraits. There are obviously some paintings. There's some sculptures. There's some smaller sculptures. There are various weapons from wars that were used in the past that probably aren't any good now. Some of them have been zhuzhed up, if you will. Others are ancient and kept in a glass case. So, Kim, if you want something, there are other things to grab in here. 100%. Risky. So you can definitely do it.
I'm going to focus on all the smaller items, but yeah, I definitely want to grab a bunch.
Sounds good. And after you notice that, Desmond, you're able to whip around and see that Ogre is now conversing with the captain. He doesn't look possessed or anything. He looks shocked. He looks out of it. And he's kind of mumbling to himself of like, what the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Just like, ah! It's kind of the look on his face right now. He almost bumps into you guys.
This is before I go into the room?
I would say this is after, unless you wanted to wait a second. Up to you.
No, I want to move quick.
Okay, so you're already in the room. Desmond's able to point out these things to you as you're entering. And then Desmond, since it took you an extra second, you turn around and you see this guy, and he's just kind of like, just mumbling like, no way, no way.
Is it in the same kind of bullshit way that the other guys were possessed, or?
No, he seems fine. He's just out of it. Just shocked.
What did he see?
Kim thinks to herself as she's
Probably
walking around
can't
the
be
room.
worse than whatever we're seeing in the room right now.
Yeah, but he went upstairs. He shouldn't be seeing anything. Unless people were like scratching their eyeballs out or something.
I mean, we literally saw a guy floating on the ceiling, you know? He was
Good
probably
point.
fighting someone up there. We did hear bumping.
Upon looking at him, you can see that his rapier is drawn and covered in blood. He looks to you and kind of assesses the situation quickly and like, oh, shit, shakily wipes the blood off the blade and then sheathes it and says, I don't mean any harm. I'm fine.
Yes,
I'm
we can see that. It's a good thing that you weren't taken, otherwise I would have taken you out.
I kind of smirks and laughs at that. And Desmond, just behind him, you can see a figure slinking up. It doesn't look like to be a corporeal figure, though. Something followed him from above, ever so slightly, and it looks like it's about to strike him, and he does not notice.
Okay. I'm going to try to shoot the thing behind him.
You know that you can't shoot it. It's a ghost.
It's incorporeal, okay.
Yeah.
In that case, I guess I'll just try to drag him away.
Ogre is going to try to shoot this thing, so it's going to cost me 2 stress to do that, but I do have the lightning.
Can I make
can
it
stop.
an assist action for him by pulling the guy out of the way? So he has a clearer shot?
100% yes.
Okay, well, I'll do that.
All right, so I'll take that. We'll take the attune. I'll take 1 extra die from you. Thank you, sir.
And I'll use my free assist for this.
Excellent. All right, we're risky standard. I think we want to one-shot this thing, though. So let's take it up to great and desperate.
I mean, it is pretty desperate.
It is. It's very desperate. All right. +1 die. Excellent. All right, we nailed it. We'll take 1 experience and resolve. Alrighty, Mr. Ogs. As you're able to, the guy is just he's like mid-conversation with you guys, and you get a look from you, Desmond, and he kind of goes to draw his blade again, like, you're crazy. Like, what are you doing? But you grab him, you yank him off to the side as the ghost just howls and jumps for him, claws raking out, its jaw distends, and an extra arm comes out of its mouth, twisting and turning as if to grab this guy. Parts of its body are just nonsensical, folding in and out of themselves. And as it shoots forward, you're able to kind of turn your eyes away, Desmond, to not have to visualize what's going on, and Ogre just releases lightning as he does his quick little whip dance, and the lightning rips up and dances along the body of this ghoul. But as it does, some of the lightning will arc back and strike at Ogre. I'll have him take a level 2 harm from this of shocked. I don't want to resist that because I only have 3 stress left. But as he does, he's able to kind of like almost say as if he's wrangling a fish. He pulls the ghost up and slams it into the ceiling with his lightning. He's kind of holding it as if he's chained to it and then slams it back down. The lightning stops. Ogre's hands look a bit burned. His outfit is like charred around his arms. He's like, oh, and the ghost just dissipates into nothing. And Ogre kind of gives you guys a look, and this dude gives you a look that you're holding on to. Doesn't like, we need to get out of here now. Kim, what are you going for? What are you rolling? What you doing?
Been deciding this whole time.
Moment of decision.
And I'm gonna slippy swap. Actually, what happens if it's desperate and I fail?
You eat some Leviathan.
Depends on what you're doing. Are you sneaking or running?
I'm going to assist you regardless. So. And
I
if
want-
something goes bad, I can use my armor to help you.
Okay, I want to do like a partial sneak, like a quick sneak. Like I don't want a full on run, but I definitely want to dart from spot to spot.
If you're primarily trying to stay quiet, you can roll prowl. And did you say you're assisting with something, Desmond?
Yeah, I'm assisting her with distracting the enemies if anything looks at her or tries to look at her.
Okay, you're gonna like shout or just like kind of like try to draw their attention to you.
Grabbing random things in the room and throwing them at them.
Okay, so you'll get +1 die from that, Kim. Alrighty, excellent. And you
Wow, that could have been bad.
could have been bad, but it was not. All right, you switched that to desperate, correct?
Yeah, just been great.
All right, desperate. We're going to mark experience, my friend, and that is indeed a great effect. Meaning, this first thing you went to grab, we will say, what's a weapon that looks cool to you, Kim, that you would have grabbed? You tell me.
Me? A knife.
All right, excellent. You grab an incredibly ornate knife. Are you more interested in a zhuzh knife or a knife from someone important, like an old scarred knife? What's cooler for Kim?
A nice
Describe what
history.
describe what a judge knife would look like.
Really ornate, made of gold, encrusted with like various jewels and diamonds, and unusable, but looks gorgeous. You know, it's a gas station knife, basically, except actually classy. Maybe depends who you ask.
Okay, I need to think about this. Which one would Kim go for?
I Does Kim have like a room filled with ornate knives, or is she purely practical?
I will say both are going to be unusable, but both are worth something. If I want to give you a little extra something, Kim, this battle-scarred knife is indeed the
Honestly, I think she'd go for either or, depending on how judged it is or who wielded it.
I was about to say, what if I told you, because a lot of these items they're ready for auction, so a lot of these are labeled and they're ready to go in their case at least. What if I told you the battle-scarred knife was from one of the Scotlander rebellions?
Yes, I think I take that.
Okay, you're able to snap this up with basically no effort. I'm going to change this timer to a 4 o'clock. No, I'm going to keep it to 6 o'clock, sorry. And I'm going to add 1, 2, 3 ticks to it. So rather than you taking damage, this alarm is going to be the dudes in this room hearing you. So you don't take damage. Nothing bad happens. You pick up the knife.
So they've half heard me already?
It's currently at 4. So it's two more pips. Basically, one more failure at standard or desperate, and it's full. All right, so the pearl's ahead of you, Kim. There's more fancy shit you can pick up if you wish.
Do I have to roll for each individual fancy thing?
Everything you want, you got to roll, yeah. This is you being greedy.
I don't have any free assists left, but I still have like 4 stress. Well, 3 stress I can give. I would rather not, though.
Can I see them maybe becoming aware of me?
You know, yeah. So you know for a fact as you moved around and kind of grab these things. So we'll say this: you picked up the banged up knife, and the nice one fell. It got tipped over from something. The room itself is pulsing a bit, and you feel your head begin to swim ever so slightly. You don't know if you bumped it or something wriggling along the floor bumped it, but it fell over. The glass shattered, and all the figures begin looking around. As they turn to you, you can see the ones that are eating. They don't have any eyes. They're completely just blacked over. You don't know if they plucked them out or if this stuff they're eating is just like filling them up. They look towards you, but they don't see you.
If I wait, do they turn back to the corpse?
After you wait a second, they're like sniffing at the air. They lick their lips and they go back to eating.
All right. After they go back to eating, I will prioritize the pearl.
Okay. As they go back to eating, one of them you hear begins crawling into this thing's intestines, and they're muttering to themselves as they do. They grow silent, and you're able to kind of slink on over to the pearl. So this is a big boy. Like I said, basketball in size. It's currently encased in glass, and it's waiting there for you to be plucked. How are you going to grab this? This is as far as you can get from the door. It is the back left portion of the room.
Is the glass secured down, or can I just pick it up and grab the pearl?
Currently, as they are indeed all being handled, give it a quick look, and you see that, yeah, it's open.
I will gently pick it up, put it down, and grab the pearl.
Alrighty, to acquire this bad boy, I'm going to have to ask a roll from you, my dear. Oh,
Nice.
didn't even need to ask position. Risky standard, critical success. The glass is lifted. The pearl is keryoinked. This is a very heavy boy. If anything, you're a little heavy. Yeah, you're a little heavy, but it's okay. Like I said, you didn't need to bring the lantern or anything, or your cane sword. So any of those, they don't really matter. If anything, you're probably still normal. You pop it into a backpack or something you had on you, or how you carrying this thing?
I think I probably had a bag of some sort hidden away, like behind my back or something, and I would have pulled it out before I ran into the room.
Sure, like a foldable bag?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, cool. You undo your foldable
You
bag.
definitely have like a bunch of hidden pockets in your everything.
That too, yes.
Rebel against society. Women have more pockets than men.
Yes!
All right, make it a thing, people, please. All right, so, Kim, with a critical success, besides grabbing this thing completely silently, what more do you want?
Any small paintings?
Maybe you want that one painting on the left side with your image on it.
I was wondering. This would be a perfect spot for it.
No, I mean, I would have probably seen it in my study if that was the case.
I'll give you the option, Kim. One of two things. You can acquire one more thing here, or you can be silent enough that you can begin to leave.
I want one more thing.
You want one more thing? Hell yeah. All right. Risky biscuit. As we begin to look around the room, what is Kim looking for? Something small? You already got something big, so anything large is going to be not out of the question, but really hard to pick up.
You know, I want something small.
Okay, you looking for jewelry or what?
Desmond, knowing the look, will point something out for her.
Okay, what is it?
It's basically a necklace, very well adorned with like different kinds of diamonds and like a rainbow spectrum.
Sure, I
And
go for it.
It's actually pretty big for a necklace, but it's also small enough to keep in your pockets.
Excellent.
It's like, do you know how those mayor necklaces look like?
Mm-hmm.
Really big, heavy things?
Yeah.
Well, for a necklace at least. It's one of those, basically.
Excellent. Are you wearing it, Cam, or did you just stuff it away somewhere?
I think I would have stuffed it away.
Fair enough. All right. With your critical success, you're able to grab the pearl, kind of haul it into this bag, and then however you kind of heft it onto yourself. It's heavy, but as long as you're not disturbed, you got this bad boy. And then you're also able to grab this necklace. Turning about, you wait another second, and you can tell that they're not currently interested in you, but one dude is missing. As I mentioned, he crawled into the corpse. Don't know what he's doing in there, but probably having a good time. I don't know how warm it would be, but, you do you, buddy.
I want to leave now.
Leaving sounds fair. Once again, to leave, we got to be quiet. We got to make sure we are not seen to escape. As you see Kim grab these things, Desmond, what are you doing?
I'm currently making a deal with the commander.
He's out of it, but he's listening. What you got for him?
Yes, I'm basically giving him a ghost contract at this point. Like, you'll help us out, get us out of here, and I'll do my best to get you out of here as well. We're handling the situation.
You don't even finish the sentence. He's like, deal. Yeah. There's a slight shock when he shakes your hand, but he doesn't think anything of it. It's rug static.
Don't question anything we do. We're going to need that pearl to get out of here, probably.
You're the only one still sane here. I got your back, you got mine, right?
Yeah.
Good. He draws his weapon again, and he's like watching the top of the stairs on floor 3. He's like turning his back to look down at floor 2, and he's like, okay. But he's keeping his eye out, and he's really on edge. But you guys can probably trust him. We're probably good here.
That should be both of the hallways covered in that case. So
yeah.
Go back to watching Kim.
All right, excellent. Ogre will kind of have his back as well, so they're watching. They should be perfectly fine. They'll let you know if any doors open. Ogre will check the other side as well, and he'll shout if another door opens, but you guys should be good. Kim, you're mostly alone in this room. What do you do?
Shouldn't Ogre be getting ready to set the thing on fire?
He already has the bomb prepared.
You should have a bomb ready, yeah.
Yep, I already gave us heat for it. He's just keeping watch to make sure nothing else will sneak up on you guys.
It is a firebomb, right?
Oh yeah, he's gonna burn this bitch.
Yeah, okay, good.
I think on the way out...
I hope that works.
Can I flip in the opposite direction, so controlled limited?
Oh, you want to... Yeah, so I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe you trade position for effect. So you go back the other way, correct?
Okay, because I want all the men to stay on the Leviathan, so Ogre has a better chance of, more for the buck.
Okay, fair. You can do this in one normal roll, one standard. If it's limited, you'll have to roll 2 times. But remember, in a controlled roll, if it fails or if it's mixed, you can just roll again. You can just choose to roll again. Okay. So basically, I tell you what the complication is, and then you say if you want to accept it or not. I'm going to add, with this first one, I'm going to add 1 pip to the alarm, not 2. And you'll get about halfway. Do you accept?
Okay.
All right. You can hold onto this control position if you wish. While you're prowling, you stir them ever so slightly, but they're still fully concerned with chowing down. A few more of them drop to their knees as they begin to crawl towards this thing and just kind of dip their arms into it.
Delicious.
Indeed. As you can hear them just chowing down and tearing into this supple flesh behind you, Kim, you're able to very, very slowly slink out of the room. They don't seem to notice you, but behind you, you begin to hear gasping. It's like a wet gasping. And you can see out of the corner of your eye, the person that dove in to the Leviathan has kind of crawled out. And they are no longer human. They're not looking at you, though. They haven't seemed to notice just yet.
I motion to Ogre to throw the bomb.
He smiles widely, prepares the bomb, looks to you, Desmond, like, are we good?
I'm gonna use a setup action to, hold the door open and then close it immediately after he throws it.
So the door was a big metal slab. It basically fell over.
That's too bad.
We had to pick it back up, yeah. It was blown off the hinges. You could have grabbed something from another room, like another door or a bed or something of that variety in the meantime.
Casually grab another door.
Well, yeah, so I mean, you could have flashback, or because you guys have been kind of chilling for a while, so realistically, if you want, you can take it as a flashback.
Is there a table or something inside the room?
Inside the room, there was the table that the Leviathan was on. The other tables are just covered in...
More like on the side, basically.
Those are covered in garbage. And by garbage, I mean Leviathan, like Icar. So I probably wouldn't recommend touching
those.
Yeah,
not going to bother that.
I'll say if you want to say that you grab like a table or something large enough from another room or from the side, that can be just like 1 stress, just one flashback. I want you have your roll. I'll just say you have it, and it's just in position.
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay, perfect. Oh, hey, he took finesse. Thank God. All right, cool.
Yeah, he did.
Beautiful. All right. Oh, no. Do I push it? Do I take the devil's bargain?
Devil's bargain.
Okay. How much stress do you have, Cam?
Do you get anything from Devil's Bargain here? No, right?
Well, I'm rolling 4 die, so...
I have 4 stress.
Your help...
What do you get here?
So you're bringing me up from standard to risky great, so you're helping there, Desmond. So I can take a devil's bargain, which is weird, because I'm giving it to myself, or you can assist Kim if you want and give him a +1.
I take stress for doing that?
You take 1 stress, yeah.
1 stress.
All right, I'll assist.
All right, that's 5 die. Risky great. Go! Hell yeah,
I
brother.
think they also changed how stress is displayed for other people.
What do you mean?
Like there is like a gap between stress you have and stress you don't have for me. If I look at other people's bard.
Interesting. Well, I own everybody's sheet, so I can't see that. I'll have to look at it on her screen. With that, Kim, you kind of can direct Oberon like, hey, throw it here, there's dudes here, there's a guy that just popped out, just throw the firebomb. And Desmond, with you getting the door ready, we'll jump this up to great effect. The firebomb is prepped, with a big smile on his face. Ogre hucks this sucker back and chucks it right into the center of the Leviathan's corpse. It explodes, erupting fire everywhere. Already rolling on a success, buddy. We're good.
No.
Yeah, we're set. We're set. I got a 6. And fire just rips across this thing, rips across all the individuals. They begin screaming. The big one that jumped out of the corpse seems a little more cognizant of its surroundings. Desmond, you see as you're kind of putting this makeshift door up, the ones that were consuming are still attempting to do so. They're howling as they're shoving meat into their mouths, but they're just feasting and feasting and eating. And you hear an underlayment of screaming, a separate voice layered. And you see for a brief moment, the thing that came out of the corpse almost locks eyes with you, Desmond. You're able to put the door up in time, but it sees and it jumps and just bounces off the door. But it's held in place, held relatively firm. It doesn't want to be in there. Shit's burning. You guys are fairly certain we're good. And I will say, Kim, with this pearl you have on you, you feel a little bit safer. Just a wee bit.
I clutch it tight.
Clutching your pearls. And as you do, the general pressure around the three of you seems to subside ever so slightly. The commander looks back to the three of you as if to say, are we done? What are we doing?
I mean,
oh, hey, you survived!
Yeah. I want to put something in front of this, like, slab I put in front of the door to keep it shut.
Okay, fair enough.
Or I would have asked the commander to get something, I guess.
Sure, we can definitely say, we can say he did that and, like, helps to prop it up a bit. I won't have you roll for that because, you know, he's here to help, so he's indeed doing that. He questions for like half a second, but he's like, nope, I got you. I know where to go. He runs back in the room. We'll say he already like prepped this because you knew this would happen. And after you slam the door up and shut, he like wedges it up and like, all right, we're good. We're good and set to go.
Right. You have the pearl, Kim?
Yep, I got it.
All right. Everyone touch it, keep together, and let's see if we can go downstairs now.
Clutching our pearls, we rush for the stairs to descend to floor 1. There is still a presence all around you. Kim, the first time you descended these steps, you felt it grow and grow the further you went down. This time, though, while it is surrounding you, you do not believe the presence is as potent. The choking sensation is still there, but it's light, it's faint. And you break through whatever wave this is, and you see light, something flickering on the first floor. And it seems a few of the sconces were knocked over. There's no fire or anything, and most of the guards are gone. Some are dead. A lot of them are just pushed up against the wall and like dragging themselves along the floor. Some have left entirely, but it looks like they also partially barricaded the front door that you guys can see from here. But you guys made it to the first floor. You're safe. The commander's looking around, just like, God, this shit show. What the hell happened?
They barricaded it from the inside or from the outside?
Looks like from the outside. It's very clearly closed.
So we'll have to break it down in order to get out.
Sounds about right. There are also various windows. You guys can probably, barrel your way through. You have to go through a room first to get to them, but, options.
Any paintings I can steal?
Yeah, there's at least 1 or 2 paintings on this first floor.
I want to grab them both.
All right, you're pretty heavy right now, Kim. If you do this, you will be encumbered, I'll say.
Which means what?
Very difficult.
After we get the guy to leave.
Very difficult for you to do anything. Also, it's going to look a little weird, so he did agree to help you, but at the same time, you're stealing paintings. That's going to look a little weird.
All right,
I mean,
fine,
he can't do anything against us, otherwise he's going to suffer level 3 harm, but,
Yeah.
That was the deal, after all.
It was the deal, yeah.
All right, how pretty are the paintings?
They're nice. It's difficult to tell in this tepid lighting, but they were nice. You noticed them when you walked in.
All right, let's secure the exit first, and then maybe I'll nick it on the way out.
All right, sounds good. What's our plan in blowing this door open? It looks like they haphazardly rammed shit against it. It's not like, it's not nailed down. This isn't some zombie apocalypse. It's
You said there were windows.
I was
Windows,
thinking
yeah.
we just, kick it down, basically.
That works.
Rack it.
I'm gonna wreck it. All right, do you need assistance in wrecking it?
I think if I ask for assistance in wrecking it, I'm going to take yet another thingy. So, no, this time I'm just going to do it alone.
All right.
Last time I asked Ulf for help, and he fucking killed me.
All right, risky standard.
Can I take more stress? Probably not for the best.
If you push it to desperate, you'll knock it over in 1.
You know what? Let's do that. I'm going to
Alright.
push it to desperate.
All right, go ahead and take me some experience. Ram this bad boy open. Hell yeah, brother. You got a 6. All right, mark experience. No problems here, my friend. You begin to ram the door. Desmond, you're prepping. Kim, you're eyeballing. And Ogre is kind of looking around like, why do I have a really bad feeling suddenly?
I snap my attention to Ogre. What do you mean?
As he says that, he looks about and one of the windows to the first floor explodes inward. Coming barreling
Inwards,
through
even.
is a figure that looks, unfortunately, relatively familiar. They're leaking teal and black ooze. A horrible stomach wound is barely being contained,
Oh, the bill hook, whatever it is.
indeed, by this liquid.
Oh, you effing bitch!
The corpse of Corin looks around, and this is no longer Corin. It howls wildly, causing this teal ichor to just spray and spittle everywhere. And she looks directly at Ogre, and a horribly long, wicked smile dances across her face. Desmond, as you ram this door, explodes open, and the streets are open to you guys. You see various guards standing out there with spears tilted toward the door, and they can see in your eyes that you are fine, and you're also wearing their same uniform, but they're still on edge. The commander shouts through, like, they're good, they're good. But looking at that demon thing, he's like, that's not good, what are you doing? And Kim, since you and Ogre are the closest to this general scenario, what is your initial reaction? What do? You know she's focused on Ogre.
Does Ogre have another bomb?
Oh, Lord. It's gonna cost more heat, but I can flash back to another bomb, yeah. You want him to?
Is there anything in the room that's good against demons?
So nothing is good against demons necessarily. You have your orb, which can help repel her slightly. Ogre has his lightning. Do you have nothing spirit based, right, Kim? Nothing like weird on you. No new items to pick up.
I mean, just
Oh,
my
yeah, the
spirit
spirit
charm.
Okay, so that helps a wee bit, but you can tell she's about to lunge at Ogre, and Ogre's prepping. If you want him to use lightning, he can. He won't trauma out, but he will gain 2 more threats, which is really close.
Demons can be killed, right? Or do they need special like magic swords to kill them?
Yes, I can be killed.
They're very special. They're very special, Kim. Unlike ghosts, you can't stab a ghost. You can't shoot a ghost. You can stab a demon, but it's gonna regenerate like
If
instantly.
Ogre
so.
comes close to getting killed, I will use my special armor on him. Or you, if you're in danger in that case, but yeah.
Okay, you basically said that if I attempt to stab the creature, it won't work.
It will work, but in terms of killing it, it will not work. The demon is possessing Corin's body. You can stab her, you can cut her up. It's just gonna fill all the holes with that like goop.
Are you also holding the pearl that is supposed to ward off demons? So potentially you can just, hit her in the head with that.
She's also not looking at you. But your position won't be desperate. His will, if he acts.
I am going to step aside, let her approach Ogre, and when she's within reach, smash the bag with the pearl over her head.
Go for it. What would you like to roll for that?
It's more of a wreck, isn't it?
It sounds very wreck, yeah.
Can I please use finesse?
Are you...
If you're timing it to be like perfectly in her face and she jumps, it's more finesse-ish.
If you're whacking her with it, that's definitely wreck. If you're flinging it like a slingshot, that's finesse.
You're shot putting it at a general direction.
If you're gonna have you ever seen people like polish bowling balls? If you're using like one of those to like whoop 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 and like fling it at her, I'll let you roll finesse for that. Yeah, you'll have to go recover it, of course, but I'll 100% let you roll finesse.
So it won't break if I toss it like that?
No, I mean, it's a pearl.
So hitting her with it is equal to you doing this with it. It won't break. It's very solid.
All right, I will whoop it.
Okay. Do you want
Whoop it.
you want Devil's Bargain, or do you want Ogre to assist you? He can take 1 stress.
Devil's bargain.
Okay. Do you also want Ogre to assist?
How much stress does he have?
He'll have 2 open stress after this.
All right, we're almost out. I think that's fine.
Okay.
We're all very close to getting another trauma.
You're literally at the door. It's okay. So, we'll go with. Let's see. What are you rocking, Kim? She's very clearly trying to hurt Ogre. I will say, with your your general abrasiveness, and you running in, rather than harming it directed at Ogre, I'm just going to direct it at you. But if you succeed, no harm.
All right, I'll take it.
Boom. All right, that's plus 2 dice then, Kim.
Well, can I use one of those to bump my effect up to great?
So I'm pretty sure assist only gives plus 1 die. Devil's Bargain, though, can indeed push it up. So yes, you can go to risky, great effect. Hey, got a 6. Hell yeah. Alrighty, cool. You just like whoop, 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 and just shot put this thing directly towards the ghost. She turns to you. Ogre does something to kind of like half distract her. but it's like too obvious. She's like, wait, one of you little shits is doing something. So the demon turns to you, Kim, snarling, going to grab for Ogre's throat. Right before she can make purchase, the pearl crashes into her skull, and you hear a very solid crack as her head just snaps fully backwards. Her body plummets. It smashes into the floor, leaving a black smear. The pearl rolls, and Ogre turns and just kind of gives you a thumbs up, runs back to you. And well, actually, do you want Ogre to go grab the pearl, or do you want to grab it?
I would have immediately gone to grab it, so...
All right. As the pearl is near her fallen body, it's on you, Kim. Grab this pearl, and we're done. You hear something shuddering from outside. You're not entirely sure what it is, but the lights, again, flicker. They don't go out, but another presence is rapidly approaching. You hear something...
Are all of Ogre's ghosts just coming after him right now?
Eventually.
This might be a good ghost, honestly.
Fortunately, you roll a success again, my dear. And Ogre kind of like, oh, shit, yeah, the pearl. So he kind of goes back to help you. But this presence zips past Ogre and zips next to you, and you hear a labored coughing as Corin's body gets up to jump towards you, Kim, and rip out your throat. Before she's able to get to you, though, an entity covered in coral and scales tackles Corin into the floor. And you see Urgaz breathing this strange, just black smog as it pours and just wells over Corin. And she's screaming and howling, digging her massive claws into his gut, raking upward, and you just hear flesh tear and organs spill out. And Urgaz looks to you, looks to Ogre like, I made a deal. I would take care of this. I'm trying to take care of it. Doesn't say anything, but you do see his perfect, pearly, white teeth as he maniacally smiles to the two of you, letting you know that he's got this handled.
Thanks.
Nods and goes back to just attempting to, what you can kind of tell, consume Corin. It's odd. Let's not look at this. The commander is shocked beyond belief, and he's like, I don't want to watch any more of this, and he just like runs out the front door and quickly lets them know, you three are good, let's get the hell out of here, close that door again, there's nothing in there worth saving.
I'm sure that was the wrong call, but yes.
We're set, we're gravy, and the three of you are able to schmooze on out. There are quite a few guards out here. You can see the commander is kind of looking around for you guys, and he's kind of counting heads. What do y'all do?
I'm going to distract them loudly by giving them commands.
Okay.
Like, we know that the spirit ones deal with, like, ghosts specifically and demons. What would Leviathan shit be someone else?
Technically, yeah.
Okay, who do we call for that?
Ghostbusters, probably.
Alright, then I call it Ghostbusters.
Various institutions.
Basically, I'm gonna tell him to, like, I don't know, send some people to get these people and get the spirit ones here and get the Leviathans, to get some dock workers here as well. I'm sure they can know how to deal with this shit.
Yeah, so realistically, dock workers and spirit
so
wardens
create
can
an
handle this.
opening for Ogre and Kim to just, like, walk away.
I'm going to approach the captain very aggressively. I'm going to grab him, nearly screech. The next time someone brings a Leviathan to one of these auctions, do not let it in. Do you hear me? Do not let it in.
Upon this screeching, you get a couple weird looks from various folk around you, but he gives you a very slow nod as if to say, like, yeah.
And I will run out.
All right, excellent. He doesn't really give you any second look as he's kind of partially ashamed. You and Ogre are able to slink off into the night as he's kind of backing you up, Richard, saying like, yeah, we'll call these guys. We'll call these guys. You, Jody, you go there, and you know, what the hell? My brain almost said Stephen Thee. Sure, Stephen and Timothy. Stephen Thee, my favorite character. Stephen Thee, go, and he was like, oh, sure thing, sir. And he runs off into the night to go get somebody. Who knows? People died here.
Buck teeth glinting in the moonlight.
Yeah, exactly. People died here. There's plenty of ghosts. We do know the spirit ones will be here momentarily anyway, so we don't necessarily need to call them. We just need to make way, and they shall indeed arrive. The commander turns to you, Richard, and he offers to, well, shake your hand again, but, you know, this time non-maliciously, just like, seriously, thank you.
I'm wearing my glove at this point, so it's fine.
Excellent. He kind of, like, is not sure, because, like, it's weird to have people, like, de-glove to shake hands, but he, like, pauses for a second, but sees your glove, and goes,
I should have already had it off at this point, but yeah.
Yeah.
Shook his.
And he, you know, smirks and shakes your hand and says, seriously, Richard, you saved my ass in there. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get my men out, but that's something I gotta live with.
Everything seems safe-ish now. You might be able to go in back.
You saved my ass. You saved my ass twice. That ghost behind me, I didn't even hear coming. You didn't need to do that. I appreciate it.
No, I'm here to help.
You're good people. Thank you.
Let's see if there's anything else going on. I'm gonna take a look around the building. I say as I look around the building and just jump over the fence and get the hell away from there.
He basically asks, are you, like, you're checking the back, right? You're not going back in the main lobby? Obviously, there's, like, demons fighting in there. No one should be going back in there. So, back room, sure. Go for it. So he very quickly whips around.
And perimeter.
Yeah, definitely. So as you go to check the perimeter, quote unquote, he has a full-on, like, all right, guys, et cetera, talking them down. So you run off into the night, him and Ogre around for the night, and the three of you seem to make it out with no problems.
All right, we need to stop doing that. Running into random ghosts and demons.
As a last second thought, I'm going to toss a knife at a wall somewhere.
All right.
I'm pretty sure your knife is inside the building still from the guy you
Oh,
killed.
yeah, from that guy. It's probably in there.
More wouldn't hurt.
Wait. This one has a sticker on it that says "You're welcome."
Excellent. No one has any idea what they could possibly mean.
Inside the corpse of the Leviathan, they find the chicken bone.
Oh, God.
No. I flash back to me being the one planting the Leviathan corpse in it.
The Leviathan was a chicken all along. Oh, God.
Honestly, it would be kind of nice if you had like a guy that literally flashbacks to you being the one that caused the entire situation.
Alrighty. We'll kick it on back to the docks, back to our home, as we all make it back just fine. And let's head up that payoff. As you guys look through all the various things we were able to pick up. First and foremost, let's not dawdle around. We get rep for that. We get a nice, healthy amount of rep for that. And it's indeed enough rep. Bring us up to tier, trace, weak, hold. So we gotta upgrade this bad boy.
But the coin is equal to your new tier times 8. So it's 3, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
New tier is
Times
3.
8.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 8, 16, 24. And
Yep,
we have
24.
patron, so it's half that.
Half that, correct?
12.
12 is not that much, actually. Let me go ahead and subtract what we have in our actual vault. So 12 minus 9.
Apparently, but we're getting paid for this thing as well.
Actually, that's a good question. What do you want to sell that you picked up, Miss Kim?
I'm keeping the knife. I'll sell a necklace.
The necklace. And what are we doing with the pearl? It wards off spirits. We can, what's the word for it? Sell it back to the spirit wardens who can probably use it, or you can give it to or sell it to the Deathland scavengers who can definitely use it.
Yeah.
They would literally be able to go out to the Deathlands completely safe at that point.
Alrighty.
Almost completely safe.
I don't think they'd want to pay full price for it, though. We'd have to give it at some sort of discount.
Considering what it is, it's probably very expensive anyway.
Indeed.
We can lease it to them.
If you want to just sell the necklace, that'll be 4 coin, and we'll just subtract 3 of that, so you guys are going to gain 1 coin, but you don't have to touch your guys' retirement funds. That will level us up to tier 3 weak hold, meaning our train is up and running. All right, that means since we're tier 3, we roll 3 dice for the eggs now. Of course, I still fail. Why did I say that?
How dare you?
All right, only 1/5. There we go. 2 monies. Alrighty, in terms of heat, we'll add 2.
That's
So
probably a lot.
We have a total of 6 heat. We didn't go over. Technically,
I'm gonna
this
have to
was...
reduce that.
Well, there was explosion, so 1 more. Yep, okay, there was some killing, but it was contained, and it was under the disguise of somebody else. On top of Ogre's 4 heat that he added from the bombs, I'm adding 3 heat from the actual business itself. If you want to quickly reduce that, I can give you your gambling den.
Consort.
Yeah, go ahead and talk them down.
-6.
Maybe I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, 1 heat. Perfect. All right, cool. All right, the 1 heat's not going to kill you. Want me to go ahead and roll with just 1 heat?
Yeah.
All right. So our tier is now 3. Boop. All right, 5 minus 1 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, we're back. We're back to the same amount of money. Yay! Okay. Oh, I should have rolled entanglements first. My bad. Hold up. Let me roll that first, and then we'll reduce it. Flip and interrogation. So you want
One
the piece.
cast a scene. Makes sense.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right. One of the PC's rivals arranges for one of your contacts, patrons, clients, or a group of your customers to switch allegiances due to heat on you. They're loyal to their faction now. Or the Bluecoats round up one of the PCs to question them about their crew's crimes. How did they capture you? Either pay them off with 3 coin, or they beat you up, gain 2 harm. And you tell them what they want to know, plus 3 heat. You can resist them separately. So pay them off with 3 coin, or they beat you up and you get 2 harm. And you gain 3 heat. Wow.
And gain 3 heat.
Yeah, these don't really seem very balanced. Just take the coin.
I mean, we have a lot of coin. So
You have a ton of coin. Yeah, just take the 3 coin, losers.
Like when we're still tier 0, 3 coin was literally all we had.
Yeah.
So it
All
makes sense.
All right, so we'll pay them off 3 coins rather than both having the shit beaten out of us and gaining 3 heat. That seems excessive. Okay. All right, we'll quickly throw experience onto the crew. It's not going to level us, but I'll do it anyway. Execute a successful ding-dang. Hell yeah, we did. Contend with above our challenge. Yes. Bolster our reputation. Yes. Expand our goals. Yes. Beautiful. All right, that should be everything I need to touch inside the actual clan itself. And in terms of this is our final session, but we might as well be stress-free, or at least close to it.
Definitely.
So what are we doing for our downtime activities?
Well, apparently I'm going to have to de-stress both of them.
Sounds like a plan.
So I have nothing left after this anyway.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and de-stress the ogre. I want to watch people get punched in the face. Oh, hell yeah, buddy. I rolled 1 die and got a 6. All right, completely de-stresses. Beautiful. Ah, okay. 3, okay, yeah, you can control that.
I'm only going to reduce it by 2 then, so I don't overindulge regret anyway. Wait, does that make sense? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you have 4, you literally can't roll above 6, so yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll use his other downtime to roll for healing. And now that we're a tier 3, Daphnia is a tier 4 healer.
Oh my god.
Mm.
I know, right?
I mean, I guess we've been giving her a lot of decent practice lately, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna make sure we are cleansed entirely. By fire, be purged. Okay, come on. All right, almost. Come on. All right, no more harm on ogre. No stress on ogre. No harm on ogre. He's good. I used up his little bit of money, but we're still retiring pretty hot.
Oh,
Hey,
it's
Kim.
tiring. I need to add 2 coin.
Indeed, yeah. Go ahead and add a coin. Kim, are you also de-stressing?
Absolutely.
All right, go ahead and roll it up. My God, all 3 of your stats you have full. Roll any of them. Beautiful. That's all your stress gone.
Wait. Oh, is this with demons?
Uh-huh.
I'm coming with the both of you.
Yeah. Absolutely beautiful.
There we go. Good thing I
Perfect.
left 4.
All right, no stress. Did you have any damage on you, Kim? You did not. And Desmond, you had that armor.
Yes, which I haven't used. My special armor, at least.
Yeah, special armor you didn't use, regular armor you did use. It came in handy. Smart bringing it.
Yes.
All right, considering it's a weird item, I would go ahead and just kind of add the pearl and the knife, Kim, to like background inventory, not main inventory. You're not gonna bring that everywhere. Do we want to have the pearl somewhere in our train to like ward off the boogeyman?
Yeah, I feel like we do, at least until we figure out who to sell it to
Sounds
or
good.
lend it to. I'd actually be totally cool lending it out to the scavengers when they need a big mission.
I would
Yeah.
keep it until we destroy the other train company and take them over.
To be clear, this thing went wrong horribly. This is the worst thing that could have happened. So the fact that it was suppressing it ever so slightly was a massive boon to us. Normally, the pearl would have been much more effective. So this thing was bad news. If you're near a ghost or something and it's not buffed effectively by some eldritch deity, you're good.
So, a couple of days later, I very curiously go out into the world and look for news about how this Leviathan murdering spree went.
I was about to bring up that. Word on the street is bad drugs. Something crazy happened. The guards, the main guy in charge, he was fired. Most of the
Makes
other
sense.
guards were fired or put somewhere else. Basically, word on the street is something happened, but what they're saying was drugs, effectively. But we know what happened.
And the outcry of the lost auction items?
I mean, that's not only is he fired, this dude is. So initially he was fired, but you guys know he's now on the run. They're thinking about holding him responsible, so he's gone. He pieced the hell out. He doesn't want to deal with that.
I feel kind of bad. If I can find him, I'll offer a spot
Fair enough.
among our crew. He survived the thrall of the Leviathan, so he's got some guts.
He can join our guard cohorts.
Exactly. He's got some guts.
Yeah, he also didn't get turned.
Indeed. And on top of that, a lot of the money that went from Roland Watt to us help us put this wonderful train together. It's up and running. It's chugging. It's going through all our little... Let's go and zoom out to good old Duskfall. We got a station in 6 Towers. We got one in Coleridge, Char Hollow, the docks, and we got one in Brightstone. All of these forming definitely not a pentagram. We're not trying to resurrect our dead god or anything. Why are you asking? Stop asking.
It's not a transportation circle. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. We're not trying to sacrifice all of Duskfall to overtake White Crown. Oh no, we should have grabbed Ironhook Prison. Screw those guys. Well, no, screw the people running Ironhook Prison. The people are free. Except for what's his name. He can stay in there.
No.
We've tried to make sure he stays in there. Everyone can leave except for you. All our trains are up and running. People are a little apprehensive to use it, but a lot of folk in Char Hollow have been moving around, and they're like, no, they're good people. You guys have helped plenty of folk. And in Silkshire, I think Lady Penderin, she recommends people to you guys. Amansi
Oh,
has been-
yeah. I didn't even think about that. We've got a network that we can get recommendations for.
Exactly. Lady Pendrin has
vice versa.
Yeah. Moncio, you guys have had him for a long ass time. He's telling people like, hey, if you need to move product, there's no safer way to do it. Did we name our tram, by the way, or no?
No.
I'm trying to think if we had a name for it, like a cute name.
I mean, Ogre would probably come up with a weird name for it.
Probably, yeah. But yeah, there's no safer place to go than with these guys. You can trust them. You trust me, right? And people trust. Amancio's a good dude.
Oh yeah. And the door, right? The fancy door.
Indeed, the fancy door. So are we playing out the fancy door as like a, hey, come look at the weird door? Is that what we're doing with it?
Come look at the amazing door.
I feel like he's a good guard door for first class passengers. Only you can enter.
Yes.
Only they know the secrets to entering that door.
Excellent. So
which is, complementing it.
Yeah. Well, he'll be like cordoned off from some of the front carts. He'll kind of just chill there. People come from all over to see this talking door that keeps joking it will eat you, but like, right? Funny, okay. He seems really serious, but he's really selling that role, man. He really gets into character. How are they doing it? Who knows? So we got him. God, I'm tempted to go click through. Let's see. Night Market, we didn't have anyone. We had Brogan and Clave. We haven't talked to them in forever. In Silkshore, well, there's a certain group of individuals that we won't talk about. They're kind of just doing their thing. In Crowsfoot, you guys did indeed help the Red Sashes. They needed to move people around. Our orphanage is beginning to get up and running. So we got the Crow's Nest. Both Crows and Red Sashes are moving toward us. The Crows like you guys a little more because you're helping to de-escalate the issue between the Red Boys and the Lamp Blacks. Whole Ridge.
De-escalating by making the Red Sashes win.
Hey, at this point, they don't give a shit.
Oh, they heard about that.
Oh, yeah. We got Ulf and his people. We got our wonderful tavern that's been there for quite some time that has a quote-unquote working radio. Everyone come see.
Did Orlon hear about my train?
Word has traveled. Aaron Watt would like to ride the train as well because, well...
Of course.
He's my BFF.
Dude, he has his very own coach.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I was just going to say, he can have free tickets for as long as we're BFFs.
Yeah. Orlon might have taken a look at the train. You heard of some kid kind of swinging by, but you're not entirely sure when and where that occurred. At least not super clear.
As long as I'm on his mind.
Of course. He's definitely thinking about it. And Kim, you with
now
it
just sounds like you're trying to seduce me, honestly.
He's trying to seduce everybody.
No. Kim is taken. Kim is wholeheartedly taken. Sorry if it sounded that way.
It definitely sounds that way.
I'm thinking it in a motherly way.
My brain is ruined. Mommy, sorry.
You do whatever you're into. It's fine.
Mommy, sorry.
This one doesn't judge.
I'm sorry, my last two characters are very perverted, okay? I'm sorry.
You tend to play a lot of horny characters, yeah.
Only lately. They're not usually horny.
You say no?
They always are.
I don't know about that. You really want to get laid as Kiara. Sarabi's a courtesan.
Okay, that's true.
Gigi sleeps with literally everyone. That's like 3 for 4. I mean, I guess Margot just shot people, so that's fine. Maybe she got off on that. Who knows? But she's kind of a psycho. I'm not going to question her. I feel like she'd hurt me and probably enjoy it. So she can kind of do her thing.
All right, my bad. I'm a perv.
Okay, that's fine.
I acknowledge it.
Joke's on you, so am I. Ha-ha! All right, so you with your boo, Kim.
Yes, my boo.
How's that play out? We got money now. We got train.
I am purchasing his contract, so he doesn't have to work if he doesn't want to.
Ooh, well, I mean, why would he want to?
I mean, if we're gonna pull off a big heist, he might offer, to get into some info, but I imagine he wouldn't do it often.
He's gonna sleep his way through pies.
God, he's so dramatic looking. The art you picked for him.
No, it's perfect for him.
It is perfect. It definitely is perfect. But yes, he would much rather spend his time with you, Kim. And while you guys have definitely checkered pasts, things happened, we owe money to the wrong people, you guys have some sway now in the city. You're definitely a force to be reckoned with. We have our front, and we have the Twilight Triad, but people can know us for how we want to be known. Ogre definitely has his Lich train getting ready, as we thoroughly discussed, not until he dies of natural causes. If those natural causes happen to be him experimenting with explosives, so be it.
Technically natural.
Technically natural.
It's completely natural for him to explode.
Precisely.
Also, Kristoff can act as the train, that one who walks around checking tickets?
Yes.
Check it.
Yeah, he can do that because he's purdy.
Okay. The ticket checker?
When he's not off being with me.
Of course.
If our stations had those speakers that tell you departure times and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible to make those in this world?
Something close. I would say it's probably closer to the metal, like shout into
Basically,
systems.
Yeah, I mean, we do have radio.
Yeah, let's have Ogre make it. He can, tweak the radio technology to make it.
Yeah, then your boyfriend can be the voice.
Oh, yes!
Your
Most-
train is departing in 5 minutes.
Excellent.
I dare say our number of female customers will increase.
All right, and Mr. Desmond, before we move on to the final scene, was there anything you wanted to take care of or talk to?
In this place, not so much. Like at this point, he's probably gonna sell his tiniest corner shop.
Mhm.
And either he's going to have one of his cohorts take it over or something, or just
Oh, I like that.
generally sell it. And other than that, just, keep smoozing with people, making more connections. He might be, he's been spending a lot of time with Jeremy lately.
Okay.
And weirdly enough, Jeremy is packing house. Apparently, he's no longer working where he usually works.
Oh, where's he heading to?
Apparently, he got a new job as a guard or something
Excellent. I would say good for him.
for some rich-ass customer.
Working his way on up. Hopefully, he can do good things.
Definitely.
And about how long, Desmond, would you say it is until we move to this final scene? Would it be like a few weeks later, or?
Well, you see, the object in question, it's not so much that he had to buy it. It was tied up in legal mumbo-jumbo by him, and he ended up buying it under the name of the company,
Fair enough.
which took maybe 2-3 weeks.
All right, just how to get things set in order, basically.
Basically, yeah. And after that, he's slowly having cohorts like bringing his stuff and their stuff some other place.
Perfect. You said you bring both Kim and Ogre off on a jaunt, Desmond?
Yeah.
And
And
we
then
had
have them like suit up a bit.
put on your nicest pair of pants, Kim and Ogre. Comb your hair, please.
Can Christoph come?
Christoph, of
Always
course, can come. We're headed somewhere we've never been to before. Somewhere you've seen, Kim. Ogre, they wouldn't normally allow you be within a mile of this place. But Desmond calls the two of you, very nonchalantly. And you notice he's bringing the crew to White Crown. As you guys head on up, you notice that Desmond seems to be at ease, and he heads you guys to the normal front gates. As you guys get there, with a quick nod, the guard looks you guys over, returns the nod after looking through some papers, and allows you guys on in. It seems weirdly easy. You guys have obviously gotten into various locales before, but this is White Crown. No one's allowed here. Only the richest of the rich. You have to seriously know somebody. You know Roland couldn't even get you guys in here. It's not possible.
Desmond, what's going on?
You'll see.
Even with Desmond's skills, you guys are thinking, you can't forge papers to get in here. And you can't lie to someone to get in here. That's just not how it works. They check thoroughly. And you know how judiciously they hand out punishments, we'll say, if you try to sneak in or lie. So it's not worth the risk.
And I know Desmond's paranoid, so
Oh, I'm at ease at this point. Not a tiny bit of paranoia here.
that is making me both relaxed and paranoid all at the same time.
As you're thinking all this, you all walk through with Desmond leading, casually, almost as if he has a destination planned. Prior to this, you didn't see him preparing, looking over his blueprints, Kim, looking over maps. You didn't even hear a whisper about this prior.
Would
Neither did
Desmond
Ogre.
betray us? Oh no!
Continue to walk through the streets. He's not looking around, almost as if he's not a guest here. He's not here to schmooze. He knows exactly where he's going, exactly where he needs to be, almost as if he's walked this path thousands of times before. He notes a few mansions and a couple of states, some of the bigwigs that are, sitting out through Duskfall. You guys see the Polonia estate, Wester estate, the Vey estate. You've heard of these names. They're rich, snooty douchebags. You see somewhere where the alleged author Vey Templeton would be staying, that book we found a while back, but no one's ever seen him here, so for all we know, it's an empty building. We walk by Roland Watt's estate as well. Huge, massive building. Bigger than anything. Bigger and cleaner. Completely different style, architecture than anywhere we've seen in Duskfall. This place feels completely alien to you.
Roland lives here?
His primary estate's here, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there are rumors of him bumming it with you guys, but
He's eccentric. He's the only person in Duskfall that's like multiple houses.
Ah, okay.
yeah, people kind of look down on Roland the more you guys kind of looked into him, that he would leave White Crown. People should stay here. People should know where their places are, and they should stay there. The fact that he talks to those folk, gross. So you've definitely heard of that. And he does not give a shit. He just does his thing. Rolling is rolling. And as you guys continue to walk through, he points at a particular home, Nancy's, the ex.
Oh my. Say what? What?
And then finally, your group stops at a home across the road from hers. You see a slightly dilapidated building that you all stand in front of, guided by a gorgeous, artistic archway. On the gate, you read Chateau d'Aon.
Welcome. This is where I was born. We'll open the door and lead you inside.
Stand there and
You
stare.
see, I'm gesturing her to go inside. It's fine.
Okay, I'll follow. Actually, no, I think Kristoff will probably tuck me forward.
As we go inside, I'm going to tell you a story. You see, my father, he was a smart man. Very smart. Uncannily smart, honestly. He built a company in Duskfall, earned himself a lot of wealth, a lot of power, a place right here in, well, White Crown. This building, in fact. The problem is, of course, that this position comes with a lot of bad attention in this place. Now, I'm sure you're aware, the elites in White Crown here are themselves nothing more than crooks, and they saw an easy target. So, they set up actions, completely legal, forced some power, made some deals, and they picked him apart. They stole everything from him. His business, his friends, his family, and of course, well, everything else he owned. He died a few years back, alcoholic, somewhere in the dumps in Char Hollow. Not sure of the details. Honestly, I don't care. Looking back at it, he was a nice man. But you don't want to be a nice man in Duskull, I'm sure you're aware.
No, you don't.
It only took about half a year for them to take everything from us. He was, shattered in its entirety. And were it not for my, connections. At that point in time, I was still in school, you see, going to be a prosecutor, get myself a nice job here, ruling the classes. But that all fell apart as well. That was actually when I met Jeremy and Nancy, around that. And it was one of Jeremy's contacts that gave me a second chance. He taught me everything that I now know, everything that I now do. And ever since that day, I was given a second chance. I have been plotting my revenge against, the entirety of White Crown and anyone who would support them. I am going to get my revenge by taking away every single bit of power they have and giving it to the people. As he finishes this story, we get up to the third floor. The middle room, like above the entrance, is like a big open room with like a big window in front. And it's completely empty. Like even the floorboards have been picked clean. The only thing in it is a bunch of telescopes, like half a dozen telescopes. Weirdly enough, they are aimed at random buildings.
I'm sure not so random.
No, totally random. The only good thing my father did for me, this building, it was put in the name of the heir of the On family, and not in his name. So even in his death, it was mine. Of course, I had to pay back a reasonable debt, but I was able to tie it up in some legal hell to keep it there, which, with our recent earnings, I've been able to untangle them and pay them off. So right now, this building is owned by Desmond & Co. Acquisitions.
Oh my god.
What this means is, it's not back in my possession, it's back in our possession. This is our house, our business, and our future. And I want to thank both of you, all three of you, for this with all my heart. Now, I'm sure at this point all the rats in White Crown have already heard about our business, our train, our project, our future. And I'm also sure that they've already started planning how to take it down, steal it from us, take it for themselves, and use it for profit, or, their profit specifically.
I was gonna say you're welcome, but we're gonna have to get started on this this next project of yours.
Which brings us to my next point, and I'll point to one of the telescopes.
I'll take a peek.
Of course, I'm going to protect our future, and if any of them dare cross our paths, then I will personally burn them to the ground, and everything they care about. And through the telescope, you'll see one of the random houses. It's seemingly pointed at a random person in that house, a guard, just generally. The thing is, you know this guard. It's one of our cohorts.
Oh my
as the
god.
guard. And the next telescope does the same thing at a different house. And the next telescope does the same thing at yet another different house.
Holy shit, Jasmine, you've been planning this for a while.
Right? But it's worth protecting what we have. Now, as I said, the house is currently owned by Desmond and Co. Acquisitions. We had a business. It was more so done for legal reasons, honestly. But I no longer have anyone to fill these rooms. So, if you wish to stay here, you're free to do so. I've already had some of our cohorts, well, living in with us as guards. And of course, Jeremy is also our security captain. I'm sure he's already currently decorating one of our more sizable rooms with paintings, actually.
I would love to have a room.
In white crown, nonetheless. Oh, and before I forget, he's gonna take a step back to reveal one more telescope, aiming at Nancy's house. This one is for you, Kim.
Okay.
It's pointed at Nancy's house, of course. At her massive, beautiful house. She has like one of those reception halls, those big halls with like stairs on both sides leading up. And it has a lot of glass you can see through. And in that reception hall, there is a very big, beautiful, and somewhat familiar portrait.
Is it my biggest, best one?
Yes. I believe this painting was called Purity. Jeremy gave it to Nancy and me on our anniversary. Of course, she never gave it back.
Wow.
But I'm sure we can fix that.
I mean, do you trust it in her hands, or do you hate her enough to want it back? Because it looks pretty comfortable there.
I mean, it's up to you.
I'll have to think about it.
You can always look at it from here.
That is true, yes.
If you want it back, well, we can do that.
You knew my face before I ever met you.
Yes, weirdly enough.
Small world.
Took me a while to figure it out, huh?
I think I have changed since then, so.
And that's basically where he leaves it off. You can pick out your rooms now if you want.
Me and Christoph dash off to find the best room with the best view.
If you go to like the back side, you'll also see a massive garden, which is, well, sizable enough to hold some chicken if you want.
Ooh, perfect.
Jeremy is also sitting there painting currently.
I go say hi to him too.
Jeremy happily greets you like, oh, it's time to show them all this. Nice.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
We've got some busy times ahead. We've got to redecorate this entire house, fix it up.
We can help with that.
Good, I was planning on that. Sadly, Ogre isn't here, but otherwise he would have known that this building also has a very, very big basement, which is filled with all kinds of interesting things. If anything were to explode there, well, nobody would hear it.
I was about to say boom proof.
Yeah.
Ogre would look for the most soundproof room, definitely.
One quirk my father had, which apparently a lot of people here in White Crown have, is they're all kind of interested in the weird stuff.
Makes sense.
Most of it was sadly auctioned off, but you know, there's places to hide stuff in this house.
Alrighty, with everyone picking out rooms and seeing a whole new side of Duskfall that's been revealed to us, our group definitely has more to do at some point in the future. Many hurdles to climb as we do, but we'll leave it there and potentially revisit the Twilight Triad sometime in the future.
I'm sure the other campaign will hear stories.